It's time for Lumberjack basketball on 1240 KOFE, your home for Lumberjack sports. Welcome to the countdown to tip-off. We want to thank our Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsors. If not for them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now live with your countdown to tip-off, here's Tim Parrish. Go Lumberjack
fans, Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium as we get set for a doubleheader of Lumberjack basketball here tonight from
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE.
And the Lumberjacks hosting the Liberty Lancers here tonight. This game originally scheduled, or I should say these games originally scheduled to be played on December 2nd, back on Christmas in St. Mary's, but weather made it to where those games could not happen. So they've been rescheduled for tonight, a not so normal Wednesday night game. That is just the second game, the second set of games in a week that has been packed with Lumberjack basketball, as the Lumberjack girls hosted Potlatch Monday evening. And then we had this game here tonight, which is boys and girls varsity, and a JV boys game that just finished up with the JV boys coming out on top. I was not here in time to get the final score, but the JV boys did win in the first game. No JV girls game tonight. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but there was no JV girls. So right now the varsity girls warming up on the floor. It is senior night for the Lumberjack girls, as this is not their last home game of the season. But they went ahead and had senior night tonight. Kind of surprised me just a little bit, considering there is a league matchup coming up on Saturday with Grangeville. So I think that is actually the last home game of the regular season for the Lumberjack girls. And then they have one or two road games, and then they will be into the district tournament, which begins on February the 8th and 9th for the Lumberjack girls, I do believe, is when that will be, because I do believe the Lumberjack girls will be the league champs and be the #1 seed for the district tournament. But as we get closer to that, we will inform you on everything on those nights of basketball, times and location and everything. And until then, we'll just focus on the games at hand. Like I said, it is senior night as both teams warming up on the floor. Lumberjacks taking on the Liberty Lancers. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Unleash your colors today with a School Spirit debit card from P1FCU. Our cards are back and better than ever with a bright design that will make you proud to represent your school. P1FCU has joined the mascot madness, and you can too, no matter who you cheer for. Stop by to sign up for your new exclusive School Spirit debit MasterCard or visit us online at p1fcu.org for more information. There is no us without you at P1FCU, federally insured by NCUA.
Fire Chief Larry Nacarado wants to remind you that this time of the year, chimney fires are a common occurrence, but can be prevented. St. Mary's Fire Department wants to remind you that they loan out chimney brushes and rods for free. They do chimney inspections for free and will even come to your house and offer chimney fire prevention training for free. Don't neglect your chimney. Call St. Mary's Fire Department today at 245-5253. That's 245-5253. This public safety message from the St. Mary's Fire Department.
At Les Schwab Tires, we don't just sell tires, but our sign isn't big enough for the name Les Schwab Tires, Brakes, Alignment, Shocks, Rims, and Batteries. And that would also leave off the how we do it part, which would read Les Schwab Honest, Friendly, Trustworthy Tires, Brakes, Alignment, Shocks, Wheels, Batteries, and Popcorn. We could shorten it to Les Schwab Popcorn, but that might just be confusing. So for now, we'll stick with tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing matters.
Tired of the same old thing for dinner? Want something different without having to clean up afterwards? Stop by Cabin City Q Smokehouse in St. Mary's for some of the best barbecue around. Cabin City Q has the biggest, tastiest hamburgers around, as well as smoked chicken, brisket, ribs, and prime rib on Fridays. Cabin City Q also has a terrific salad bar. Cabin City Q also serves breakfast. That's Cabin City Q, located at 2242 West Idaho Avenue in St. Mary's. Give them a call at 208-245-0785 or stop by today. That's Cabin City Q Smokehouse in St. Mary's.
Carissa's club.
And we are back. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium as Lumberjack girls are getting warmed up to take on the Liberty Lancers from Spangle, Washington here in the first game of tonight's doubleheader. And Lumberjack basketball presented by Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union right here on KOFE. Potlatch Credit Union are proud sponsors of the School Spirit program. They say that together we are better. And they also say, go Lumberjacks. Like I said, senior night here tonight for the Lumberjack girls. I do want to remind everybody out there as well that's listening on the radio that you can also listen online by going to our Facebook page and using the Use App button. And new so far for this year for the home games, we have also had a video stream live on YouTube as well. You can search KOFE 1240 AM and it'll take you right to our live video stream as well. It is up and running right now for the pregame show. So you can have 3 different venues to find the game on, and if you have people out of town or out of state or anywhere like that that would like to watch the games, you can direct them to those areas and they can listen or watch the game online as well. So it's a new feature, and maybe in the future we might be able to try to expand that a little bit more. Anyways, the Liberty Lancers look to be a tough team coming in tonight, both boys and girls. The girls are a 10-4 record, 9-3 in league play. Once again, they are from Spangle, Washington. They're coached by Chris Colvin, and they have a rather small roster from what I've seen, but they have some really, really good basketball players. And they have one girl that really stands out big time. She is just a sophomore, Maisie Burnham. She is a 6-foot sophomore, and she is averaging 27 points per game. She has 372 points scored on the season, and she is going to be the main concern, I'm sure, of this Lumberjack defense here tonight, as they're going to have to shut her down to slow down the Lancers. She only scored 11 points last year against St. Mary's, but that was as a freshman, so that's actually pretty decent numbers for a freshman player. The leading scorer last year against St. Mary's was a graduate. She graduated last year, and she scored over 20 points against St. Mary's in that game over at Freeman High School during the Christmas no, it was not the Christmas tournament. That was just a regular season game in Liberty last year. I keep getting that one confused. The reason I get that confused is because St. Mary's and Liberty have both played Northwest Christian. St. Mary's girls played Northwest Christian in the Christmas tournament this year. The games between both were really, really close. St. Mary's lost to Northwest Christian by a score of 55-42, and Liberty also lost to Northwest Christian by a score of 55-45. So just looking at those numbers is leading me to believe that tonight's game for the girls is going to be one heck of a wild matchup, and it should be a close, very well played game. Looking at some last year numbers once again, Liberty against St. Mary's shot just 52% from the floor. Not just, that's a good field goal percentage actually. They shot 37% from three-point range and 58% from the free throw line. Lumberjack girls were shooting just 33% last year against Liberty. They only shot 9% from three-point range and 55% from the charity stripe. So Lumberjack girls looking to improve on that field goal number here tonight against Liberty, and obviously that three-point number as well. Let's see, this Lumberjack so far on the season averaging around 38% from the field. So not, they probably want to see that number maybe in the 40s, 45%, and just a bit higher for them. They are shooting 27% from downtown and just 55% from the free throw line. Another spot where the Lumberjack girls have struggled just a bit this year has been from the free throw line. One place Lumberjacks are doing really well is rebounding. They're averaging 33 rebounds per game to go along with 11 assists. And Lumberjacks come into tonight's matchup with a 9-5 record, leading the 2A Central Idaho League, as they have that 9-5 record, 3-0 over in league play. Lumberjacks sitting 9th in the power rankings. They won 59-22 over Potlatch on Monday. Looking at the rest of the 2A Central Idaho League, Orofino is sitting with a 7-11 record, 0-3 in league. They are 10th in the power rankings. Their last game was a win over Timberline, 38-22. The Grangeville Girls, they are sitting with an 8-8 record, 1-1 in league. They are 11th in the power rankings on idahosports.com. Their last game was a loss to Lapway, 57-45. That's a look at some numbers here before tonight's game. Senior night for the Lumberjack girls. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with more.
Clubhouse in St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter. If you are looking for a fun, friendly daycare and preschool for your little one, call Carissa's Clubhouse at 208-582-1431. Children from 6 weeks and up are welcome to come and play at Carissa's Clubhouse in St. Mary's. Carissa's Clubhouse offers full-time, part-time, and even drop-ins. So if you need a fun, safe, and friendly daycare or preschool for your little one, call Carissa's Clubhouse at 208-582-1431. That's 208-582-1431. Carissa's Clubhouse in St. Mary's.
Some people select their grocery items with an eye on every cent they spend. Some people don't. But if you don't happen to be a millionaire, you'll appreciate Archie's IGA. At Archie's IGA, prices are always lower. You might even say significantly lower. Archie's quality and selection is consistently better, and put them together and you get a greater satisfaction in meats, produce, baked goods, and all the rest. Find out for yourself the difference shopping at Archie's IGA makes. Do it today. That's Archie's IGA, your hometown proud grocer.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? Call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing proudly sponsors this Lumberjack Sports broadcast.
Do you need help finding that perfect gift? Looking for that personalized touch? Come to Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's and let us fill your balloons. Not only does Jack's carry all of your gift and party supplies, but we're here to serve you with all your personal care items. Come in and let our personal care experts help you find just what you need from our wide selection. If we don't have it, we can get it. Plan your party at Jack's Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Jack.
And we are back. Countdown to tip-off here on KOFE 1240. Lumberjack Sports presented by P1FCU, Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union. Proud sponsors of the School Spirit program, and they are proud supporters of the Lumberjacks as well. Together, we are better. 6:32 until tip-off for the opening game of our doubleheader tonight. Lumberjack girls and boys going to be taking on the Liberty Lancers in what should be some outstanding ball games, and a great test for the Lumberjack boys here tonight, as well as a great test for these Lumberjack girls on the senior night for the Lumberjack girls. Speaking of senior night, one of the seniors on this roster for St. Mary's is Kaylee Auer. Her parents are Jim and Michelle Auer and Brandy and Derek Rimmel. She has 10 years of playing basketball. After graduation, Kaylee plans to attend North Idaho College to become a rad tech. Her activities in school include volleyball, basketball, softball, ASB, and HOSA. Her most memorable moment was going to state for basketball last year. Kaylee would like to thank her mom and Derek, her dad and Michelle, Grandma and Grandpa Auer, Grandma and Grandpa Ross, Kelsey, Kirsten, the Gibsons, Moores, Rosses, Doolittles, McKenna, Dev, Lauren, Madison, Kinsey, Jenna, Paige, Casey, Alina, Nancy, Bethan, the JV players, the Wilsons, the Borgmans, the Martins, the Signs, the Bechtels, the Mastersons, Kat, Carson, Kaylee, Allie, Gabe, her coaches, Jay Signs, Mr. Cordell, Maria Nolan, Jaylee Stevenson, Casey Borgman, Lisa Wilson, and Brian Chase, and everyone else who has supported her and the team. And I don't think she left too many people in St. Mary's that she needed to thank. I think she covered just about everybody. One of the other seniors is Miss Nancy Bechtel. Her parents are Kenny and Michelle Bechtel. She has 11 years of playing basketball. After graduation, Nancy plans to attend Lewis and Clark State College to earn a degree in elementary education. Her activities in high school include basketball. Nancy would like to thank her parents, AJ, Randy, Cassidy, Anthony, and Aaliyah Peterson, Walters, Borgmans, Wilsons, Sainzes, Martins, Brandy, the JV girls, Coach Jay, Coach Cordell, Peen, and Gilkey for all the times they have to touch her feet. Digger, Les and Kathy, Bunky and Jody Schiermeister, Tim, and anyone else that she may have forgotten. That is Nancy Bechtel. There's still several Lumberjack seniors to go through. Hopefully we should be able to get through all of them here tonight. It looks like there is 4 more, and we should be able to squeeze through all of them here this evening. 4 minutes until tip-off. A few numbers here for the Lumberjacks. It's been a strong season for Casey Haig. She's been scoring 12 points per game. This is for 11 games that I have stats for, 11 out of the 14. She has been pretty good shooting all the way around, 51% from two-point range. She has made 50 of 98 shots that she has taken from two-point range. Her field goal percentage is 49%. She has 51 of 104. Those are shots taken all around the floor. I don't think that includes free throws. She also has 36 steals to go along with 36 defensive rebounds and 30 offensive rebounds. So Casey Haig having a strong season. She is just a junior. Madison Cordell, she is a junior. She is averaging 8 points a game. She has 30 assists in the 11 of the 14 games that I have stats for. And then you go down to Miss Devin Wilson. She has averaged 7 points per game. She is shooting 28% from downtown and 30% from the floor. Her free throw percentage, though, is 65%. She's one of the best free throw shooters so far on the season for the Lumberjacks, as she is 65%, 17 of 26 from the free throw line. And then Miss Kaylee Auer, she leads the Lumberjacks in rebounds in those 11 games that I have stats for. She has 89 rebounds, 58 defensive boards to go along with 31 offensive rebounds. Once again, Lumberjacks averaging right around 52 points per game. Lumberjacks shooting 38% from the floor, 27% from three-point range, 55% from the free throw line, averaging 55 rebounds per game to go along with 11 assists. We are 2 minutes away. We will be back in 2 minutes.
Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
Mountain Plating is a premier hard chrome plating facility, and it is located right here in St. Mary's. Mountain Plating was established in 1997 as one of the first hard chrome plating facilities in Idaho, and it services a wide variety of industries nationwide. These industries include manufacturing, food processing, agriculture, mining, environmental, and the timber industries. Mountain Plating is committed to providing the highest quality chrome plating and customer service in the industry, and is locally owned and operated by Donnie Masterson. Give him a call today at 208-245-7104. Go Lumberjacks!
Wanted, the St. Mary's Booster Club is wanting new members to continue to help support our sports programs. Do you know that the Booster Club spends approximately $20,000 a year investing in our high school athletes, coaches, and sports facilities? All monies are raised through memberships, barbecues, and the Hall of Fame banquet and auction. All monies raised this year will be used in the 2017-2018 school year booster budget. To become a member or for more information, call Lynn Masterson at 568-1802. That's 568-1802, and go Lumberjacks! Winter is here, and it's time to get your animals ready for the winter weather. XXX Feeds in St. Mary's has what you need to keep all your critters comfortable in the cold temperatures. From trough heaters, straw, to insulated horse blankets, your animals large and small need extra attention just like you. So don't forget, while you're stacking your winter firewood, your furry family members need winterizing also. Also, don't forget the wild critters. XXX Feed has wild bird food, deer feed, and game blocks. See XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today, because winter ain't gonna wait. Looking for a new-to-you rig? You're
Before we do the introduction, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be performed by the St. Mary's High School Prep Band under the direction of Jim Royals.
That was the national anthem performed by the St. Mary's Lumberjack Pep Band, orchestrated by Mr. Jim Broyles. Now we've got the starting lineups for you. It will be starting for the Liberty Lancers, number 3, Haley Marsh. Number 4, Kendall Fletcher. Number 22, Emma Holwigner. Number 24, Macy Burnham. And number 30, Alina Cook. The Lancers are coached by Chris Colvin. Now the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks. Let me see, starting lineup for the Lumberjacks. It will be a senior, number 1, 5'8" junior guard, Paige Signs. Then you've got number 4, 5'5" senior guard, McKenna Bergman. 5'6" guard, senior, number 12, Lauren Hill. Number 15, 6'3", senior post, Nancy Bechtel. And number 42, 6'2", senior post, senior, I said that already, Miss Kaylee Auer. Lumberjacks, of course, coached by Jay Signs. He's assisted by Mr. Cordell. And we are just about ready to get this game underway. We've got Kaylee Auer. She's going to be jumping against Alina Cook for the Lancers. The Lancers in their red uniforms, Lumberjacks in their home whites. Lumberjacks going from left to right. Lancers right to left. Lumberjacks control the opening tip. Lauren Hill tries to feed it down inside to Kaylee Auer. It goes out of bounds off of the Lancers. So St. Mary's will inbound from underneath, triggering it in Signs. She throws it a little bit high, and luckily Lumberjack's able to get to it before the Lancers do. Now they feed it back down inside. Kaylee Hour too strong on her shot. Offensive rebound to McKenna Borgman, though. Lumberjacks will reset. Lumberjacks setting up their new offensive play. Signs has it down into the free throw line to Bechtel. Kick back out to Hill. And now they reset. Back to Bechtel. Bechtel, quick shot up and good. Rebound, or the assist from Lauren Hill. Nancy Bechtel puts the first points on the board here in this contest tonight. The Lancers bringing it back down the floor. It's in the hands of Fletcher, and now down to the wing. Looking for an outlet is number 22, that is Holwegner. She kicks it to the top to number 3, Marsh. Marsh to Fletcher, now cross court to Burnham. Burnham down into the corner, and now back out to Burnham. Lancers can't get any good penetration. Finally, they do get a nice look to go to the basket. No good on the shot, and tying the ball up, I believe, is Kaylee Hour after the offensive board. The held ball possession favors the Lancers. They kick it in from underneath. Three-pointer on the way. It's no good. And the Lumberjacks on the rebound. Again, that was Paige Signs on the board. Going back the other way, St. Mary's with a 2-0 lead. A bad pass by Hill goes right to the Lancers, and bringing it down the floor, putting it up and in is Burnham. Lumberjacks taking it back the other way. It's going to be McKenna Borgman, and Borgman going to get called for, she doesn't get called for the foul. It's a foul against the Lancers. Lumberjacks will inbound from side court. The foul goes against number 22. That is her first. That is Holwegner. Lumberjacks try to work it down inside. Back to the top, three-pointer on the way from Signs. It's no good. Rebound goes to the Lancers. They bring it down the floor. Burnham to the corner. Head fake. No pass now inside of the low post to Burnham. Burnham's shot is up. No good. Bechtel gets the rebound. And then the ball gets poked out of bounds by the Lancers. The score is 2-2. St. Mary's and the Lancers tied here on senior night. A press from the Lancers. Lumberjacks, Paige Signs controlling it. She's working against number 4. That's Fletcher. Cross-court pass to Hill. Hill kicks it down inside, tries to get it into Bechtel, but it's going to be a turnover and a steal by the Lancers. Lancers quickly down the other way. It's Cook. Cook trying to drive the baseline, and there's going to be a foul called against the Lumberjacks. I believe that's Paige Signs picking up her first foul. 5:37 to go in the first period. The score 2-2. Lumberjacks and Liberty Lancers girls here tonight. McKenna Borgman, Nancy Bechtel, Lauren Hill come off the floor. Devin Wilson, Casey Haig, and Madison Cordell check in for St. Mary's. And it's a pass kicked up to the top. Lancers able to track it down, and it's into the hands now of Marsh. Marsh kicks it to Burnham. Burnham working against Cordell. Cordell pats the pass back at her. And then they kick it out to the wing. A shot is up, no good. Signs on the rebound, and Signs gets fouled from underneath. That'll be foul number 2 against the Lancers. That foul goes against number 4, Kendall Fletcher, the 5'4" guard. She's a sophomore. It's her first foul. Kendall Fletcher tries to intercept that inbound pass to Cordell. She knocks it out of bounds. St. Mary's will re-inbound. Signs looking for an outlet, finds Wilson all the way down the floor. Wilson finds a wide open Kaylee Hour, and Kaylee Hour puts it up and in with the easy layup. An assist to Devin Wilson. Lumberjacks up 4-2. Now the Lancers back the other way, working it down into the corner. Now back to the top to the free throw line from the elbow. Shot is up and good. She didn't have much time for that shot, but she was able to make it count. That was Haley Marsh with her first points of the game. Tied up again, 4-4. Madison Cordell controls it for St. Mary's. Down to Wilson. Wilson hands it off to the elbow to Hour, and then Hour handed it off to Signs, and Signs gave it right back to Hour. Hour couldn't get the shot to finish on the other end, and the rebound to the Lancers. Lancers down the other way. Inside to Burnham. Burnham shot up and good off the glass. It's a 4-point lead, a 2-point lead for the Lancers. 4.5 to go in the first period. Now a pass trying to find Casey Haig down in the paint is a little bit wide. Pass was made by Madison Cordell. It's going to go out of bounds off of St. Mary's and a turnover. 4:16 to go in the first. 6-4. The Lancers up by 2. Back the other way, it's Liberty. Burnham in the corner. Now back to the top and around the horn to Fletcher, or to Marsh, I should say. Now back to the opposite side. Long 2 from the short corner by Holwegner is up and good. And the Lancers now doubled up on St. Mary's. Lumberjacks back on offense. Signs. Bounces it into Cordell. Cordell back to the top to Wilson. Wilson for 3. Count the bucket. Madison Cordell gets the assist. Devin Wilson with the tray. 7-8. Lumberjacks trail by 1. Back the other way. It's into the hands of Holwegner. Now down to the corner to Burnham. Back up to the top. That was Fletcher who feeds it inside. Shot is up from just inside the free throw line. And that was Alina Cook putting the basket up and good. Scores 10-7. St. Mary's trails by 3. Madison Cordell down to the corner. She kicks it to Wilson. Wilson feeds it into a cutting Cordell. Cordell puts it up and in off the glass and gets the foul as well. That'll send Madison Cordell to the free throw line. She has shot right around 57% from the charity stripe. She has a chance to tie this one up. Shot is on the way. It's short. Rebound to the Lancers. It's Burnham bringing it down. She averages 27 points per game for the Lancers. They kick it out to the corner. 3 ball on the way. It's no good. Casey Haig on the rebound. Lumberjacks in transition, taking it back the other way. They feed it into Devin Wilson, and Wilson puts it up and in. I believe there was an assist. I don't know who made that one for the Lumberjacks, but Devin Wilson gets the 2 points. Lumberjacks with a 1-point lead. Now we get a ball that's deflected out of bounds by Casey Haig on a pass. Ball stays with Liberty. Inbounding it will be Burnham from side court right in front of the Lumberjack bench. Into the backcourt, or almost to the backcourt, to Fletcher. Fletcher up to the top, guarded by Cordell. Now back to Burnham. Burnham doesn't get an easy look, dribbles the ball off her foot, and they actually say it's off of St. Mary's, so it must have deflected off of a Lumberjack player after it came off of Burnham. Lancers will inbound. Into number 30, that's Cook. Cook steps inside, shot is up and no good. Fight for the loose ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to go off of Burnham. St. Mary's will inbound from underneath from down here, and it looks like the Lancers going to put on a bit of a full court press. St. Mary's going to try to get an opening in. They do get it to Haig. Haig along the sideline, takes it all the way down, tries to feed it to Auer. It's going to be deflected out of bounds by the Lancers. And St. Mary's will inbound from in front of the Lancer bench. 2:22 to go in the first period. It's 11-10 with St. Mary's up by 1. Inbound to Signs, now to Wilson. Wilson thinks about a 3, instead feeds it over to Kaylee Auer. Auer can't finish on the shot. And then a fight for the rebound is going to, I think the rebound went to the Lancers, then a foul against St. Mary's. That foul goes against Casey Haig. That is her first, team's second. Lancers bringing it back down the floor. That's Fletcher. Fletcher to Burnham. Burnham down to the corner to Goodwin on the far side. Now into the short corner. Block. Burnham tries to put up a shot. No good, and it was the Lumberjack bench thought it was a good clean block, but a whistle blows, and I believe Kaylee Auer gets her first foul of the game. That'll send Burnham to the free throw line. That's her first trip tonight, and she makes the first shot. Burnham with 5 points in the game. 2 minutes to go in the first period. St. Mary's and it's all not tied up now. The Lancers take a 1-point lead after she makes the second free throw. So it's 12-11. Lancers lead now. Devin Wilson's going to drive. Little floater. It won't fall through. I think Coach Signs looking for a foul as he hops up And no whistle called on the shot, but a foul called against Liberty on the rebound. And that one goes against Goodwin. Lumberjacks inbound. Casey Haig up and good from the short corner. Devin Wilson with another assist on the inbound pass. Lumberjacks retake a 1-point lead. A steal by Madison Cordell. And a turnover for the Lancers. First turnover. And a wild shot up by Cordell. It's no good. The fight for the rebound goes out of bounds off of Liberty, so St. Mary's will keep the possession with 1:30 to go in the first. Into the corner to Wilson. Wilson takes it up to the elbow, or to the wing, now around the horn. Now they feed it all the way back across to Wilson. Wilson for three. It's just off the iron. And Lumberjacks, Haig comes away with the rebound. Haig tries to put it back up and in. She will not get the shot to go, but she will be fouled and go to the free throw line. Haig right around 50% from the charity stripe. Goodwin with that foul for the Lancers. And Haig makes the first free throw. 14-12, St. Mary's up by 2. Casey Haig with 3 points in the contest, 2 rebounds. Next shot is up. That one is good as well by Haig. It's a 3-point lead for St. Mary's. 1:18 to go in the first. Fletcher bringing it down for the Lancers. Now to Burnham, now down to the corner. That is into the hands of Goodwin. Goodwin hands it off to Burnham, back to the top to Fletcher. Now hands it off to Marsh, now trying to get it into the opposite corner to Burnham here on the near side. But Casey Haig deflects that one out of bounds. Ball stays with the Lancers. Checking in for St. Mary's is McKenna Borgman. Coming out is Paige Signs for a breather. Don't forget, we've got boys basketball coming up right after this one. Lumberjack boys taking on the Lancers as well. Kendall Fletcher controls it for the Lancers. She kicks it over to the wing to Marsh on the right side. Now they feed it into the paint. Shot is up. It won't go in. Offensive board, no good. And another offensive board. And the putback again is no good by the Lancers. Then Kaylee Auer comes away with the rebound. And then a foul called. I believe that foul is against the Lancers. It is. That is their 6th team foul. That one goes against Burnham, her first. Full court press again being put on by the Lancers. And finally, Lumberjacks get it into Haig. Haig hands it off to Cordell. Lancers back out of their press. Cordell takes it across the timeline. 30 seconds. Down to Wilson. Wilson over the top to Auer. Auer gets it, now kicks it to Borgman. Borgman spins, kind of a wild shot, hard off the glass, no good. Rebound to the Lancers. Lancers trying to bring it down the floor, and Devin Wilson gets the steal, but she can't finish the play. Wilson missed the bunny from underneath. Wyatt rebound back to the Lancers. They look for a three-pointer at the buzzer, no good. And a fight for the loose ball over the back off of Kaylee Auer. And no whistle for the foul, but the ball out of bounds off of the Lancers. So 4.9 to go in the first period, 15-12. It's a 3-point lead for the Lumberjacks. Inbounds to Auer. Auer brings it up, kicks it to Haig. Haig with a quick shot is going to go out of bounds at the buzzer. After 1, it's St. Mary's 15, Liberty Lancer girls 12. We'll be back in 1 minute.
In luck because Dell's Used Cars has your next truck. Dell's has the best variety of pre-owned trucks in one location anywhere south of the internet. Any make, any model, and new inventory arriving daily. Dell's also will take your trade-in, paid for or not. Financing available through Potlatch, Spokane Teachers, Numerica, and a handful of other lenders offering the most competitive interest rates available in the market today. Dell's staff is laid back and knowledgeable and ready to answer any of your questions. Come into Dell's Used Cars, located at 1818 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene, or visit their website at dellscars.com. Dell's Used Cars, doing things different since 1974.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
The new year is here, and that means
And we are back, and the Lumberjack girls get the possession to start the second period. And Devin Wilson took her eye off the ball for a second, and Maisie Burnham picks her pocket and takes it the other way. Burnham goes up for the shot. It's no good, but she is fouled by McKenna Borgman. That'll send Burnham to the free throw line, where she made her first two, and she missed that her third shot from the charity stripe. Score remains 15-12. St. Mary's on top. Next free throw. That one is in and out, and the rebound goes to Kaylee Auer. Lumberjacks take it back down the floor. Madison Cordell has it on the wing on the right. She hands it off to Wilson. Wilson to the corner to Borgman. Borgman works her way down along the baseline, drives, kicks it out to Haig. Haig has her shot blocked, and the rebound goes to the Lancers, and then a bad pass by Liberty as they're trying to feed it down underneath, goes out of bounds. It's a turnover on Liberty. 4 turnovers for St. Mary's, 3 for Liberty. Liberty into the full court press once again. They kick it into Wilson. Wilson kicks it over to Madison Cordell. She'll control it down across the timeline. Cordell has it, working from the right side. Now she goes towards the middle on the top. Hands it off to Wilson. Wilson acts like she's going to take a three and decides to kick it back to Cordell. Cordell takes it up top. Resets the offense for St. Mary's. Devin Wilson feeds it out to Auer. Now Auer has it. Now back to Wilson. Wilson got to look at three this time. That one's no good. And trying to save it back in is the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks, I think that was Casey Haig. I'll give credit with the rebound as she chased it down, saved it back in bounds. Lumberjacks work it around, feed it down inside. Shot is up and no good, but a foul called against Liberty, and that will send Madison Cordell to the free throw line. She is 0 for 1 from the stripe tonight, and that puts also the Lumberjacks in the 1-and-1 bonus for the rest of the fouls throughout the half. Cordell makes her first one. 3 points for Cordell. St. Mary's up 16-12 over the Lancers. Second shot is up. That one is good as well. It's a 5-point lead for St. Mary's. 6:39 to go in the first half. Bringing it down the floor is Fletcher for Liberty. She brings it down across the timeline. She's working against Cordell and kicks it out to Burnham. Now they reset. They get it out to the top again to Goodwin. Now around the horn. It's going to be Marsh for three, and Marsh drains the three-pointer. 5 points for Marsh. Lumberjacks quickly the other way. Auer all the way down. She kicks it out to Haig. Haig can't get the shot to go, and it's a rebounded to the Lancers. Lancers bring it down now, trailing just by 2 after that three-pointer. They kick it out to Burnham on the wing on the right side. She's guarded by Auer. She goes ahead and takes the three. It's no good. Fight for the loose ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Liberty. St. Mary's will inbound. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Coach Jay Sines. And it's 17-15. St. Mary's lead still. We will keep it right here. We'll take a look at one of the Lumberjack seniors. It is Miss McKenna Borgman. Her parents are Chad and Casey Borgman. She has 10 years playing basketball. After graduation, McKenna plans to attend North Idaho College to pursue a degree in nursing. In school, she was in volleyball, basketball, softball, and HOSA. Her most memorable moment was going to state last year in basketball. And McKenna, she has a lot to thank. I don't know if I can get through them all in this break. McKenna would like to thank her mom and dad, her Graham, Papa Ron, Nana, Papa Jack, Aunt Heidi, Uncle Beaver, Bob, Alyssa and Shane, Uncle Jamie and Heidi, Joe and Rondi, Steve and Lisa, Derek and Brandy, and that's just half of her thank yous. I'll have to get back to the rest of them in a minute. Lumberjacks come in after the timeout. They inbound, and it's Devin Wilson bringing it down the floor quickly. Devin down to the corner. On the right side, she's going to bounce pass it to Cordell, and the Lancers come away with it. Lancers taking it back the other way, kind of a bad pass by Wilson. And then a shot put up by the Lancers in transition. The shot is no good, and tying the ball up is Devin Wilson. It's a jump ball, and the Lancers get the possession. Number 34, Cheyenne Gleave checks in for the Lancers. Inbound pass down to the top. to number 20, that's Goodwin. Now back to Burnham, and now inside. They're just working it around. Burnham kind of acts like she's going to take a three. She steps inside for the shot. It's no good, as Kaylee Auer got a piece of it and blocked it. Then they call a foul against St. Mary's. I thought it was going to be a held ball, but they call a foul against Madison Cordell. That is her first, team's fifth. Lancers inbound from underneath. All the way up to the top to Goodwin. Goodwin to Burnham. Burnham kicks it to a cutting Fletcher. Fletcher can't get the shot to go, but they do end up with a bad kind of a pass after the rebound by Auer. She just kind of flipped it up, and it was knocked out of bounds, one or the other. And then it gets into the hands of Burnham. Burnham goes up strong. The shot's no good, but she does draw a foul. And let's see who that foul is going to go against. That one is Miss McKenna Borgman's second foul. Burnham missed her last two free throws. She's 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. As they're waiting, not exactly sure what they're waiting for yet. I think they had to reset the clock. Now they're ready. 17-15, waiting these two shots by Burnham. First shot is up and good. 16-17, it's a 1-point lead for St. Mary's. Borgman comes out, and Paige Sines comes back in for St. Mary's. Next shot is up. That one is good as well. And we're going to get a timeout taken by the Lancers with a tie game, 17 all. Now let's see if I can find my senior stuff, and I can finish up maybe with the Lancers took a full timeout. I believe it was the Lancers anyways. So let's see, McKenna Borgman, she wants to thank Brian and Marlena. She also wants to thank Papa McFadden, Lisa Sines, Kenny Bechtel, and Michelle Bechtel, Jim and Michelle Auer, Mark and Doreen Masterson, Chris and Taylor Wade, Tom and Stacy Truscott, Cor and Chelsea Asbury, Grandma Mag, Sky and Drake Lounsbury, Aunt Jenny and Luke Rose, Pam Olson and Merle and Mary Sines, and her favorites, Dakota, Berkeley, Becklin, Abby, Kaysen, Brennan, Alyssa, Caden, Dev, Horn, Haley, Jane, Nancy, Paige, Madison, Casey, Alina, Jenna, Bethan, Kinsey, Allie, Katie, M, and Parker. Coaches Jay Sines, Mr. Cordell, Maria Nolan, Jay Lee Stevenson, Lisa Wilson, Casey Borgman, Brian Chase, and last but not least, the entire JV basketball team and all of the fans who have supported her and the team. St. Mary's will inbound after the tie game by the Lancers after the two free throws by Burnham. And Lumberjacks quickly down the floor. They get it to Haig. Haig quickly trapped and kicks it back out to Cordell. Now back to Wilson and around to Cordell again. Cordell comes up to the top, works her way to the left side. Now back to the right, kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson to Sines. Sines too strong on the shot, and the rebound goes to the Lancers. Lumberjacks, they have to have that every now and then where they are a little bit too strong on their shots underneath, like they get a little bit too anxious. Now they'll try it again. This time Paige Sines on the breakaway for the Lumberjacks. It's Casey Haig down to Paige Sines. That one's up and good, 19-17. Now it's back the other way. Lancers down in the corner. They kick it into Burnham. Burnham kicks it to the top. Then they kick it out to number 22. That's Holwegner, and Holwegner puts it up and good. 4 points for Holwegner. Lumberjacks back the other way. Tie game once again. Cross-court pass to Cordell. Cordell feeds it inside. Gets kicked out to Kaylee Auer. Kaylee Auer tries her shot. It gets partially blocked. Rebound to the Lancers. Coming the other way, we're going to get a pass as they had a little bit of a fast break going. Holwegner tries to feed it into the key. They're going to call a kick ball by St. Mary's, and the Lancers will inbound from underneath. Auer comes out. Nancy Bechtel checks in for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks on defense. Lancers back to the top to Goodwin. Now down to the corner and around to Burnham. Burnham is driving. Tries to take it to the hoop. The shot's no good, but they're going to say she is fouled, and that'll send her back to the charity stripe. It looks like that foul is going to go against Cordell for her second foul. That puts both teams in the bonus. Burnham's first free throw is up and good. She is 5 of 7 from the charity stripe. 9 points for Burnham. Next shot is up. That one is good as well. 21-19. The Lancers take the lead. Coming the other way, there's going to be a foul called against Liberty as Lumberjacks are trying to work it down. That foul goes against Goodwin. And that one sends Paige Signs to the charity stripe. Paige having a struggle from the free throw line a little bit on the season, 29%. Signs' first free throw is up, and it's off the iron, no good. Haig got the rebound. The putback was no good. And then the ball gets tied up by Liberty, and it's going to be a jump ball called. The possession arrow favors St. Mary's, though. Into Devin Wilson, back out to Signs. Signs up and good from the short corner on the left side. Devin Wilson with her third assist. Tie game once again, 21 all, 3:30 to go in the half. The Lancers have it on the wing on the right side, now to the top to Fletcher and around the horn to Burnham. Burnham now on the wing, on the left, now back to the top they go with the ball as they work it around. Burnham tries to work her way inside, the ball comes loose, and tying it up is Bechtel. This time the possession will stay with the Lancers. Coach Signs is looking for a travel. He thought that maybe the Liberty Lancer player was rolling around with the ball. No call coming for that. Kicking it into Burnham. Burnham here on the left wing. She kicks it into the middle. And now back to the top as the Lancers look for a shot. Burnham gets wide open and can't drop the three. A foul called on the rebound as Alina Cook tries to blast through a Lumberjack. That is number 30's, that is Cook's first foul. That will send Casey Haig to the charity stripe. Haig is 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Lines up the first one of the 1-and-1. It's in and out. Rebound to the Lancers. Burnham feeds it down the sideline to Holwagner. Holwagner working against Cordell. Bounces it to Fletcher. Fletcher to Marsh on the wing here on the left side. Marsh kicks it into Burnham. Burnham out. Shot is blocked by Signs. And an offensive rebound goes back to the Lancers. Now they get Burnham trapped. Burnham has nowhere to go with it, so she's going to bounce it off of Bechtel's leg and out of bounds. Score still 21 all, 2:35 to go in the first half. Senior night here for Lumberjack girls. Lancers kick it into the top. Marsh works, kicks it out to the wing or to the short corner to Holwagner. Holwagner tries to bounce it in, and it's going to be a turnover on the Lancers as it came off of Cook's foot. Back in the other way, and Madison Cordell feeds it down to a waiting Casey Haig, who is sitting on the short post, or the low blocks, I should say, and Casey Haig puts it up and good. 2-point lead for the Lumberjacks. And a bad pass by the Lancers is going to come off of St. Mary's and go out of bounds. Lumberjacks, or the Lancers, are set to inbound. They get it in, they working it around, they get it to Marsh on top. Marsh's shot is in and out. They got their own rebound though, and they start to reset. Then I'm going to say that Devin Wilson steals it away. Lumberjacks fast break the other way. It's a wild kind of a shot by Haig. And then as a fight for the loose ball ensues on the opposite end, there's a whistle and a foul called. Haig was trying to cut along. No, the ball goes out of bounds. No foul, I guess. The ball out of bounds off of Liberty. Up to the top to Haig. Haig out to Cordell. Cordell sets. Shot long. No good. Rebound to Wilson, though. That shot is up and good by Signs. I believe I'm going to give Devin Wilson another assist. Now back the other way. Cross-court pass for the Lancers. St. Mary's up by 4. Lancers trying to work it around. Lumberjacks get in the way of a pass, and it's a steal by Bechtel. Another turnover on Liberty. St. Mary's defense working pretty good right now against the Lancers. And then going back the other way, Burnham steals it away from Madison Cordell. So a couple of turnovers, and then right back the other way, it's a steal by Paige Signs. So a couple of turnovers by each team, actually 2 by the Lancers, 1 by St. Mary's. We get a three-pointer on the way by Signs, is no good. Rebound to Haig. Now it's going to be Wilson who drives and puts it up and in off the glass from the three-point line. The free throw line, I should say. 6-point lead for St. Mary's. Under a minute to go in the first half. Lumberjacks leading the Lancers. Been a bit of a dry spell here in the last few minutes for Liberty. Liberty working it around. They get it into number 30. Shot is up and no good. Burnham drives on the rebound, though, and gets it and puts it up. And good. St. Mary's back the other way with 25 seconds to go. Wilson has it. Looking for an outlet. Gives it to Haig. Haig bounces it to Wilson. Wilson to Bechtel. Bechtel up and good off the glass. Number 5 assist for Devin Wilson. 4 points for Bechtel. 29-23, St. Mary's up, 7 seconds. They have it out on the corner. Back to the top to Burnham. Burnham drives, shot, and it's in off the glass at the buzzer. So after the first half of play, it's 29 St. Mary's, 25 for the Lancers. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Means new goals and broken resolutions. It also means red-hot buys at Hughes Ace Hardware in St. Mary's. Time to replace some light bulbs? Buy one, get one free Ace LED bulb 4-packs or floodlight 2-packs. Ace brand wild bird food is on sale as well. Buy one 20-pound bag and get a bag of premium Songbird bird food for free. It's also time to take down and store those holiday decorations. And Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to go for all of your storage needs, from totes to shelves. It's all at Hughes Ace Hardware in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes of Premier Financial Services to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and insurance products from Premier Financial Services are offered through Linsco Private Ledger Financial and its affiliates, and they are a member of FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Premier Financial Services today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With large, spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Cold weather's here, and 10th Street Lumber will help keep.
And you're listening to Lumberjack Basketball here on KOFE 1240, presented by Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union, proud sponsors of the School Spirit Program and Lumberjack Sports Broadcast here on KOFE. They say, go Lumberjacks. Well, at halftime, the Lumberjack girls having a pretty decent last couple of minutes of that second period, take a 4-point lead into halftime, 29-25 over a very stout and tough Liberty Lancer basketball team. Scoring-wise, in the first two periods looked like this. St. Mary's scored 15 in the first, with Liberty putting up 12 points, and St. Mary's scores 14 in the second period, and Liberty scoring 13, and that's how we get to this 29-25 game at halftime. The Lancers shooting 33% from the field, 36% from two-point range, 20% from downtown, and 75% from the free throw line. The Lancers recorded 17 rebounds and 5 assists in the first half, along with 3 steals and 2 block shots. The Lancers turned the ball over 9 times in the first half, and they also committed 9 fouls. Individually, for the Lancers, it is Maisie Burnham who has been doing all the scoring for the Lancers so far. As I pointed out in our pregame, she averages 27 points per game, and she is right there on par for tonight as well. She has 14 points tonight so far. 5 points to Marsh, 2 to Fletcher, 4 to Holregner, and 2 to Alina Cook. And that is the scoring for the Liberty Lancers. I didn't mention that Burnham even had a 44-point game earlier in the season. That was her highest scoring game, and I think her lowest scoring game, I wrote those numbers down, her lowest scoring game was 14 points. For the Lumberjacks, they shot 41% from the field. They shot 46% from two-point range, 20% from three-point range, and just 57% from the free throw line. They had 12 rebounds to go along with 10 assists. They stole the ball 5 times, blocked 2 shots. They turned the ball over 7 times and committed 7 fouls. Leading scoring for the Lumberjacks is Devin Wilson with 7 points. Casey Haig and Paige Sines both have 6 apiece. Madison Cordell has 4 points, and Nancy Bechtel has 4. And Kaylee Auer with just 2 points. Auer also has 3 rebounds, but leading in rebounds in this game so far is Casey Haig with 5. And Devin Wilson has 5 assists in the first half. That is a look at the halftime numbers. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back with more.
You warm. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber is your heating headquarters. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals, and they burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary. Stop by today. 10th Street Lumber located at 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
During these cold days of winter, Napa Auto Parts has all your vehicle needs. Diesel and gas additives, aerosol windshield de-icer, thermal-weight gas line antifreeze. All are Napa's Mac brand products. Antifreeze, CRC airline antifreeze, snowmobile oils and belts, and of course Napa brand batteries for autos to snowmobiles. So stop by Napa Auto Parts today for all your cold weather additive needs. And while you're there, get your windshield wipers changed by their knowledgeable staff. Napa Auto Parts. They're not just a parts store, they're your friend. Napa Auto Parts, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why?
And we are back. It is halftime here at Lumberjack Gymnasium as the Lumberjacks lead the Liberty Lancers 29-25. It is senior night here tonight. And don't forget, we have a second game coming up tonight. The boys will play following the girls' game, but it is only senior night for the girls here this evening. Our next senior is Lauren Hill. Her parents are Joe and Rondi Martin. She has 8 years of playing basketball under her belt. After graduation, Lauren plans to attend North Idaho College to study dental hygiene. Her activities in school include volleyball, basketball, softball, and HOSA. Her most memorable moments were the bus rides and times in the locker rooms before games. Lauren Hill would like to thank her parents, her siblings, Uncle Ryan, Gma Lynn, Papa Ron, Gma Chris, Papa Dale, her past and present coaches, bus drivers, the town of St. Mary's, her teachers and principal, Dev, Kenna Kay, Nancy, Paige, Maddie, the JV and varsity teams past and present, the Wilsons, the Borgmans, and all of the parents, and Coda. That is Lauren Hill, one of the other Lumberjack senior girls tonight. We only have 2 left, and hopefully we can get through them here before the end of the girls' game. We should be able to, as we are just about 43 seconds away until this second half starts. And Lumberjacks and Lancers getting instructions from their coaches for the second half. Lumberjacks will be now coming towards me as I sit up in the weight room here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. And the Lancers will be going away from us. So that would be right to left for the Lumberjacks, left to right for the Liberty Lancers. St. Mary's will get the possession to start this third period of play as well. Devin Wilson's going to kick it in to Cordell in the backcourt. Cordell brings it across the timeline. She gives it to Wilson. Wilson to Auer, then back off to Wilson. Then they hand it right back off to Auer. Auer back to the top. Lumberjacks swinging it around, trying to find an opening. Back to Signs. This time Signs for 3. It's just not going to fall in. The rebound to Haig. Lumberjacks will reset. A shot up again by Signs is no good. The ball is bounced around again. Haig comes away with it again. And Haig puts the shot up. It's no good, but she is fouled. And I believe she will go to the free throw line. That's the first foul of the second half for Liberty. That is Alina Cook's second foul. Haig's first free throw is good. She's 3 of 4 from the charity stripe tonight. 7 points for Casey Haig to go along with 7 rebounds. Next one is good as well. 31-25, St. Mary's stretches that lead out a little bit more, 6 points, as it's Fletcher bringing it down for the Lancers. They kick it out to Holwegner. Holwegner to the top. Now around the horn it goes. Now back to the top. And now they look for inside. They get it to Burnham. Burnham finds an open Holwegner. Holwegner kicks it back into Burnham. Burnham, one dribble and puts it up and good. Lumberjacks coming back on offense. They kick it down inside to Haig. Haig goes up strong, and the shot is going to be no good. Foul going to be called on Holwegner. And again, Haig goes to the free throw line. Haig, first free throw. That one is off the back of the iron, a little too strong. No good on that first one. Checking in for the Lancers is Gleave. Coming out is Holwegner with her third foul. Next shot on the way. That one is no good as well. Rebound goes to, I believe it was number 30, Cook, with the rebound for the Lancers. As the Lancers take it across, down to the timeline. They get it down. Around the horn they work it now. Marsh has it on the wing. Now back to the top. Now they try to feed it inside. Madison Cordell bats it back out. Now they do feed it into Burnham. Burnham tries to feed it to the baseline to Gleave, and it's going to go out of bounds as Gleave wasn't quite expecting it. Turnover on the Lancers. Madison Cordell now brings it across for St. Mary's. She takes it towards the right side, now kicks it to the left to Signs. Signs in no man's land. Now they gave it back to the wing to Auer. Auer over the top to Cordell, and Cordell tried to feed it into Haig, and it got knocked out to Auer. Auer gets it to Cordell, and Cordell tries to put up a shot. It's no good. Then the rebound goes to the Lancers, and a foul called against St. Mary's. Devin Wilson draws her first foul of the contest. 31-27 is the score. St. Mary's up. Burnham has it in the corner for the Lancers. Now they get it to the just in between on the free throw line. The shot is up from the blocks, no good, and the rebound to Kaylee Auer. Kaylee kicks it to Cordell. Cordell back inside to Auer. Auer can't finish the first shot, gets her own rebound, and puts it back up and good. Kaylee Auer with just 4 points tonight, but she has 5 rebounds. 33-27, 6-point lead for St. Mary's. Down to the corner to Burnham for the Lancers. Now to the wing, or actually up to the elbow, and that was Cook. Cook puts up the shot, it's no good. Rebound was taken by the Lancers, but they're going to call a foul on Burnham on the rebound. It's her second foul of the game. Lumberjacks inbound from the far end of the floor. They bring it up. Madison Cordell, of course, bringing it across. Devin Wilson now has it on the wing to the elbow, kind of like a give and go. Instead, they gave it to Sines. Sines tries to drive. She gets tripped up, and they're going to call, I believe the foul goes against number 3. That is Marsh, and that is her second foul, team's 4th. Inbound pass comes into Auer. Auer back to Sines. Sines can't get the shot to go. Cordell got the rebound. Lumberjacks reset. The shot is up and good from the corner. I believe that was Kaylee Auer that put that shot up and in. 35-27 is the score. St. Mary's almost up by 9, or almost up by 10 actually. The Lancers get a good look out to Fletcher, and Fletcher airballs it. They kicked it out to Fletcher. Nobody was on her up near the top, and she had plenty of time to set up for that shot, and she just didn't get enough oomph under that ball, and it just missed everything. St. Mary's will inbound and bring it down the floor. Cordell brings it. It's now out to Sines. Sines looking for an outlet as she finds Auer. Auer still up top. Lumberjacks working up on top right now. Devin Wilson has it now. Wilson looking for an outlet after picking up her dribble. She's going to try to force it to Haig, and coming away with it is the Lancers on a steal. That was Cheyenne Gleave who picked that one off. Kind of an ill-advised pass as it was somewhat telegraphed. That is just the second foul and a half on St. Mary's. That one goes against Casey Haig, her second. And Gleave goes to the free throw line for the first time tonight, and she makes the first free throw. 35-28 the score. 4.5 minutes to go in the third period. St. Mary's leading. Gleave lines up the second shot. That one's high, and it's going to be no good. Kaylee Auer on the rebound. Lumberjacks back the other way. Down to Madison Cordell. Cordell kind of a wild pass out. The Sines is able to get it. Auer drives, can't get the shot to go, gets her own rebound. Tried to put it up again, and the rebound goes to the Liberty Lancers from underneath, and a foul called against St. Mary's. That's Kaylee Auer's second foul. Kaylee had a couple of nice looks from underneath, just couldn't finish them. 36-28 is the score for the game right now. I gave the Lumberjacks an extra free throw, I think. Shot up and no good by Fletcher from deep. No good. Ball's going to go out of bounds, last touched by Liberty. St. Mary's will inbound. McKenna Borgman has entered the game for St. Mary's. She'll inbound from the far side of the floor. And Madison Cordell will control it down for St. Mary's. Cordell brings it, kicks it over to Borgman in the corner on the left side, or on the right side. Borgman tries to drive, gets into the short corner, bounce pass under to Haig. Haig comes back up with it, tries to kick it out, and Haig's a little bit wide of her mark. It's a turnover St. Mary's. It's Casey Haig's first turnover in the game. Score stays at 35-28 with 3:38 to go in the third period. St. Mary's on top of the Lancers. Actually, let's say the ball came off of Liberty, so St. Mary's gets the ball. Sines, cross-court pass to Borgman. Borgman to the top now to Cordell. Now back to Sines on the right wing. Cordell feeds it inside to Auer. Auer has her shot blocked out of bounds. unofficially. That's the third block shot by Liberty. Inbound pass now comes into Haig, gets tied up. Haig's able to rip it away, but Haig has her shot blocked. And then the ball goes to the Lancers. Lancers quickly the other way. They get an open look out on the wing. It's no good on the shot, and they do grab their own rebound. Lancers reset. It's Goodwin to Fletcher, around the horn to Gleave. Gleave tries to feed it inside to Burnham, and it's a little bit high, but right there to receive the high pass is Goodwin, and Goodwin is at a perfect spot. She's able to try to put up a shot. It's no good, but she draws a foul from Paige Sines. Paige Sines' second foul. Goodwin goes to the free throw line where she makes the first one. It's her first trip to the charity stripe. Paige Sines comes out for St. Mary's. Lauren Hill back in. Next shot is good as well. 5-point lead for St. Mary's, 35-30. Borgman has it across the timeline on the far side of the floor, the right side. Now back to the top to Hill. Hill to a cutting Cordell. Cordell, just a quick shot from inside the elbow, and it's up and good. Madison Cordell, a couple dribbles, couple steps just inside the wing. Shot is up and in. 37-30 is the score, as it's a 7-point lead for St. Mary's. The Lancers working it around. Getting a look at a three is number 20. It's no good. That was Goodwin, but the putback is up and good by number 20. That is, or 30, I believe. That was Goodwin. I don't know if that was 30 or not. Lumberjacks working the other way. Borgman over the top to Cordell. Cordell along the baseline, kicks it back out to Borgman. Borgman gets tied up. It's a held ball, and the possession goes to the Lancers. St. Mary's holding on to just a 5-point lead. They had it almost out to 10 for a little bit there. It was at 8, I believe. Now it's back to a 5-point lead. Lancers have it to Burnham in the corner. Burnham has been quiet in the second half, I believe. Burnham steps. Nice move by Burnham into the paint. Shot is up and good. And just as I say that, Burnham makes her fourth points of the second half. It's just a 3-point game now for, nope, a 3-point game, and then a steal by the Lancers down here on the far side. Turnover St. Mary's. Burnham takes it down along the blocks, and Casey Haig gets down there and gets set, and they're going to call a blocking foul. Everybody on the Lumberjack side of the floor thought it was a charge, but they call it as a block against Haig. 15th foul for St. Mary's, third foul against Casey Haig. 1:26 to go in the third. Kicking it in, and Casey Haig makes a nice play to steal that one on the inbound pass. Lumberjacks bringing it back down the floor. Cordell tries to feed it into Auer. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Liberty. We're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Mr. Jay Sines. We're going to keep it right here. 37-34. It's a 3-point lead for St. Mary's here on senior night. One of our next seniors is Miss Paige Sines. Her parents are Jay and Lisa Sines. She has 12 years of playing basketball. After graduation, Paige plans to attend North Idaho College to pursue a career as a radiological technologist. Her activities in school include basketball, football, softball, and HOSA. Her most memorable moment was getting lost at state looking for the practice gym and losing her dad after he ran off asking a dude on a bike for directions. That's pretty funny. And we'll get into who she likes to thank after in our next time that we get a chance to, I should say. As the timeout comes to an end, St. Mary's will inbound from underneath. Madison Cordell will trigger it in. Cordell looking for an outlet up to the top to Borgman. Borgman over to Hill. Hill works her way down the right side, tries to bounce pass it inside, and it's going to be taken away. Turnover by Hill. Lancers taking it back the other way, trying to cut the Lumberjack lead. 37-34 the score. St. Mary's is up by 3. Had a 7-8 point lead at one point. Down to the corner, three-pointer on the way. It's no good. rebound offensively. Actually, I'm just going to give it to St. Mary's as Lumberjacks were able to strip it away. And Kaylee Auer comes away with it. Cordell to Hill. Hill back down to the middle to Cordell. Cordell spins, drives, and she's going to bounce it off the back of a Lancer to get it out of bounds. Coming in for St. Mary's as Paige signs. Devin Wilson, Nancy Bechtel. Going out is Auer, Borgman, and Hill. Lumberjacks get it in, down to Bechtel. Bechtel spins, gets her shot partially blocked but fouled as well. And that will send Nancy Bechtel to the free throw line. Bechtel right around 75% from the charity stripe. Makes the first one. Bechtel has 5 points here tonight on her senior night. Bechtel averaging around 3 points per game. And that one is going to be off the iron, no good. Rebound goes to the Lancers as they take it down the floor. Burnham has it. She has to pick up her dribble. She kicks it to Fletcher. Fletcher now sets up the offense from top. Now to the wing. Three-pointer on the way. It's short. Bechtel with the rebound. And then a turnover by Bechtel. And then the shot again by Liberty is no good. St. Mary's with the rebound. A bad pass by Devin Wilson is going to be taken away. And Lancers go the other way, but they can't get a shot off before the end of the third period. So after three, it's 38-34. St. Mary's on top. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Outdoor enthusiasts, turn your dreams of adventure into reality with a Yamaha Wolverine 2-seat or new Wolverine X4 4-seat side-by-side at St. Mary's Saw and Cycle. Both are proven off-road capable, comfortable, and confidence-inspiring. With compact yet roomy designs and exclusive Ultramatic transmissions and on-command four-wheel drive systems. Visit St. Mary's Saw and Cycle. Yamaha Wolverine's proven off-road to help you realize your adventure. Always protect the environment. Wear your seatbelt, helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. Read the owner's manual and product warning labels before operation.
Here are some simple...
And we are back. St. Mary's will get the possession to start the final period of play. Madison Cordell working her way inside. Or not Madison Cordell, I should say. Paige signs. She tries to bounce past it, kind of no look to Haig, I believe, in the paint. It comes off the back of a Lancer and goes out of bounds. That was a dead even third period, 9-9 for both teams. Three-pointer on the way by Wilson, and it's no good. Rebound tracked down by the Lancers. Lancers bringing it back down. Trail by 4. Down to the corner on the right side. That was to Holwegner. Now back at the top to Goodwin. Goodwin to Fletcher. Now back to Holwegner again. Holwegner short on the 3. Burnham crashes the offensive rebound though. And then another free shot put up by the Lancers. Finally Bechtel comes away with the rebound and then loses the handle. So the Lancers will reset. Fletcher has it on top, kicks it to the wing to Holwegner on the right. She goes into the short corner, bounces it across the floor, trying to go underneath. It comes off of a Lumberjack, and the Lancer girls will keep the possession. Looking to find somebody to kick it into is Fletcher. She finds Holwegner. Holwegner, a little stutter step, steps to the side. Shot is up, no good. Devin Wilson went up for the rebound, couldn't bring it in. And the shot is up and good, I believe. That was number 20. That is Goodwin with the putback. 38-36. It's a 2-point lead for St. Mary's. Give and go. Devin Wilson can't finish the shot, though. Can't get a really good, clean look at it. And the rebound goes to Liberty as they bring it back down, looking to tie it up maybe. Fletcher has it on top for the Lancers. Over to the wing to Goodwin on the corner, actually in the corner on the left. Now back to Fletcher and around the horn. Back to Fletcher on top. Fletcher drives, kicks it out to Holwagner. Holwagner trapped, can't find nowhere to go with it, gives it back out to Fletcher. Fletcher shot, no good. Rebound comes out to the Lancers, and then the Lumberjacks are able to strip the ball away, but the ball comes out of bounds, I believe, off of Devin Wilson. Wilson's going to come out for breathers, and we actually get a timeout taken. It's a full, I believe, by Liberty, and we will keep it here as we're going through our senior spotlights here. Final senior on the senior night for the girls is Devin Wilson. Her parents are Stephen and Lisa Wilson. She has been playing basketball for 11 years. After graduation, Devin plans to attend Lewis and Clark State College to become a teacher. Her activities in school include volleyball, basketball, softball, and HOSA. Her most memorable moment was her experience at state last year. Devin would like to thank her mom, dad, Papa, Dill, Bear, Megan, Sophie, Jay, and Lisa, Cordells, Borgmans, Martins, Peets, Brandy, all of her past coaches, Alyssa and Shane, Merle and Mary, Kristen, Ob, the JV girls, Lauren, Kenna, Paige, Nancy, Maddie, Casey, and the rest of the team, Zach, Coy, Parker, Dev, and Dakota. And I think I've still got to go through Paige Signs' thank yous because I did not go through hers earlier, so we'll get to that here shortly. After the timeout, the Lancers will inbound with a 2-point deficit, 6:04 to go in the fourth, 38-36 the score. St. Mary's on top, kicking the pass up to the top for the inbound. Now back down to the short corner to Fletcher. Fletcher bounce pass to Holwagner, now around the horn to Marsh. Marsh finds Burnham inside, but Burnham can't get a good look, so they find the opposite side. And trapped inside was Fletcher. Fletcher takes an extra step. It's a turnover. Both teams with 13 turnovers according to my count here in this game. 8 steals for Lancers, 6 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks bringing it back down. Cordell had it. She kicked it out to Signs. Signs now over the top to Auer. Auer jump shot from just inside the wing. The shot is no good, but Cordell was able to get the rebound. She could not get that to go. And then the ball is going to get tied up after the Lancers come away with the rebound. And I'm not sure who tied it up for St. Mary's, but it's the fourth held ball for the Lumberjacks. The possession does favor the Lancers. The score still remains 38-36. Fletcher bringing it down for Liberty. Now down into the wing. Nancy Bechtel almost pokes that one out. Back to the wing and around to the top. Now they find Marsh. Marsh for a quick 2. No good. Signs trying for the rebound. She comes away with it. Lumberjacks back the other way, and they had a pretty decent look as they had Haig cutting underneath, and a little bit of a fast break in numbers. It was just a little bit off target by Madison Cordell as she throws it away. So Fletcher brings it back for the Lancers. They have it on the wing on the left side, now down into the corner. That's Goodwin. Goodwin bounces it into Burnham, and then jumping in and tying it up as the ball gets loose is Madison Cordell once again. And actually that's her first held ball, but the possession goes to St. Mary's. St. Mary's looking to add a couple of more points to the board here, only leading by 2 after leading by 8 earlier on. Casey Haig now has it. Casey works her way towards the right side, kicks it out to Auer. Auer, a little fake shot, and they're going to say Kaylee Auer took an extra step. She gets called for the travel, and we're going to get timeout taken by Coach Jay Signs now. He looks like he is taking a full timeout. Well, that's all he has left, so obviously he is taking a full. So we will go ahead and go through the thank yous for Paige Signs. She'd like to thank her mom and dad, Drake, Jaylee, Bree, Doris, Crystal, Grandma, Papa, Nanny, Bappa, Dustin, Jeremiah, Ashton, Alex, Devin, Kinsey, her niece and nephew, all of her aunts, the Wilsons, the Borgmans, the Peets, the Haigs, the Beachmans, the Lounsberries, Cordells, Papa Wilson, the bus drivers, the seniors, the rest of the basketball girls, and anyone else that she may have forgotten. And that is your Lumberjack seniors for the Lumberjack girls basketball team. Kaylee Auer, Nancy Bechtel, McKenna Borgman, Lauren Hill, Paige Signs and Devin Wilson. And we want to wish those Lumberjack girls the best of luck in their future here after high school. And it's been a pleasure watching you girls play basketball and softball and all the sports you guys play, and watching you guys grow up a little bit as well. So congratulations right now on however this season ends out for you. But it's not over yet, and it's been a great time so far. 4:33 to go, 38-36. St. Mary's is up just by 2 over the Lancers. And the Lancers bringing it down. Fletcher has it. She works her way to the right side up near the wing. Now she's just kind of surveying. Now to the top. That is to Holwegner. Holwegner back to Fletcher. Now back to the corner. And back out to Fletcher. Fletcher to the opposite corner now to Holwegner. They bounce past it underneath. And there's going to be a foul called against St. Mary's, I do believe. That is a foul against Miss Nancy Bechtel, her first, team 6th. Devin Wilson's going to check in, maybe for Bechtel. It is. And I didn't know if Burnham was still out there, but I think she is. And I don't think Burnham has been off the floor at all tonight, except for during timeouts and halftime. Lumberjacks have held her a little bit in check, though, in the second half. She only has 4 points. This time a shot is up and good. I didn't see who made that one for Liberty. I'm going to just credit it to Goodwin. Coming back the other way, the Lumberjacks have the ball knocked out of bounds by the Lancers, so St. Mary's will inbound. 38 all with just under 4 minutes to go. St. Mary's kicks it in to Wilson. Wilson back to Signs. Signs looking for an outlet. She goes to Wilson. Wilson out to Cordell on top. Cordell kicks it over to Signs on the wing on the right. Now down to Haig. Haig goes up. Shot won't go. Got their own rebound. And tried again, hoping for a whistle or something, and couldn't get it. Finally a rebound to the Lancers. They take it the other way. Burnham feeds it inside, and St. Mary's can't get a foul called on this side, but Lena Cook gets a foul called, and she'll step to the free throw line. That foul goes against Casey Haig, and it's her 4th. That sends Cook to the free throw line. It's her first trip. And I believe she missed that first one. Next one is up. That one is good. So it's a 1-point lead now for the Lancers. 39-38. Lumberjacks try to pass it down the sideline to Cordell, and Fletcher knocks it out of bounds for Liberty. So St. Mary's resets their inbound pass, and Cordell brings it down. Cordell to Wilson. This is where you got to keep the calm-headedness and keep yourselves in check, because it's the crunch time when a close game that you've got to have everything ready to go. Casey Haig again for a shot from underneath, no good. And Haig's having a bit of a cold streak. Rebound to the Lancers. Some contact down there, but no whistles. This time Burnham cuts in. Shot is up by Burnham. It's no good. And the ball is knocked out of bounds on the rebound by Devin Wilson. So the Lancers will keep the ball. Devin Wilson's going to come out as Nancy Bechtel goes back in. St. Mary's going back to the taller players on the floor. 6'3" and 6'2", I do believe it is. And we're going to get a travel and a turnover by Marsh for the Lancers. Paige Signs will inbound. 2:47 to go in the fourth. St. Mary's trails by 1 point to the Lancers. A little bit behind schedule here, actually, because the varsity game was supposed to start at 7:30. It's now 7:19. Casey Haig this time makes a nice move. She drives. Shot is up and no good. And Haig's dry spell continues. The ball is tipped out of bounds. I thought it came off of Bechtel's hands, but they say that the Lancers touched it last, so St. Mary's will inbound. Into Bechtel. Bechtel right back to Signs. Signs up, and the shot goes in and out. Even the good looks, St. Mary's can't get to fall in. Having a real dry spell here in this fourth period. Lancers working it back the other way. Burnham has it. St. Mary's actually has not scored anything. It's been a 5-0 run for the Lancers in fourth period. Lancers working. Fletcher to Marsh. Back out to Marsh. Now to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. That one's no good. And the Lancers are able to track down the rebound. They put up another shot, no good. And I believe Kaylee Auer had the rebound, and then the Lancers tied it up. Possession goes to Liberty, I do believe. Liberty up to the top, into Burnham. Under 2 to go now. St. Mary's still trails by 1. Now it's Holwegner. And going to get an offensive foul called against Holwegner, I do believe. Nope, I think that foul goes against Cook on the offensive side, away from the ball. So St. Mary's will bring it in, 154. And coming in is, again, Casey Haig, and Haig gets knocked around, goes to the ground, and misses the shot. Rebound goes to Liberty, and then they're going to call a foul against St. Mary's. That's Nancy Bechtel getting called for her second. 30-second timeout now taken by Liberty. So we'll take it too. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Instructions on how to get a tax pro to prepare and file your 1040EZ completely free. Go to an H&R Block office and say, I'd like you to prepare and file my 1040EZ for free. Or make an appointment at hrblock.com. That's it. No more instructions needed. Pro Tax Prep for free. Get your taxes won.
Return must be filed January 5th, 2018 to February 28, 2018 at participating offices. Additional fees apply for EITC and other additional forms for state and local returns and if you select other products and services. OPTP number B13696.
Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop?
And we are back, and Alina Cook will be stepping to the free throw line for the Lancers. She has a chance to extend the lead out to 3. She is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. And she misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Cordell with the rebound. That's Cordell's first rebound. St. Mary's quickly down the floor. Cordell over to Signs, and Signs going to get fouled. That foul is against Holwegner. It's only the 6th foul, I believe, against the Lancers. So, oh nope, 7th foul. So that sends Paige Signs to the free throw line. St. Mary's a chance to tie it up here. Signs, though, 0 for 1 from the stripe tonight. And Signs can't make the first one, so the rebound goes to the Lancers. That one was in and out. 38-39. Burnham brings it across and kicks it out to Fletcher. Fletcher over to the wing to Goodwin. Goodwin back to Fletcher. Now Fletcher drives. She bounces it to Burnham. Burnham in the corner. Now back up to Fletcher. Fletcher goes in. Now bounces it back out. Looks like the Lancers are going to be content to try to just run the clock out. St. Mary's not fouling yet, and the Lumberjacks do get a turnover. Casey Haig with the steal. Now back the other way, under a minute to go. Cordell drives, kicks it back out to Signs. Signs now up to the top, and a timeout taken by Coach Jay Signs with 47 seconds. And it is a full timeout, so we'll take it too. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. I mean, yes. I mean, never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feeds and pet feed needs. 10th Street Superstop carries all the top brands. Did I mention Kenny's a nice guy? Oh, and they also have a large assortment of snacks and beverages just for you. 10th Street Superstop for all your farm, garden, and hunger needs. And by the way, Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street Superstop in St. Mary's. Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop? Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. I mean, yes. I mean, never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feeds and pet feed
Lumberjack
needs.
girls take
10th Street
timeout. They've
Superstop
got
carries all
possession
the
with
top
40
brands.
seconds
Did I
left
mention
on the
Kenny's a
clock.
nice guy? Oh,
And
they also have
Lumberjacks
a large
trailing by
assortment of
1.
snacks
They have
and
a
beverages
chance
just for you.
to
10th Street
take a lead
Superstop for all
here
your
with
farm,
time
garden,
running out.
and hunger needs.
St. Mary's will
And
inbound
by the
from
way,
underneath.
Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street
Paige Signs will
Superstop
take care
in
of the
St.
inbounding
Mary's.
duties.
Just because.
She inbounds it to Wilson. Wilson over the top to Cordell. Cordell back to Wilson. And now Wilson picks up her dribble and is trapped. She gives it to Signs. Signs to Haig. Haig shot up and good as she drove the baseline. It's a 1-point lead for the Lumberjacks, 40-39. As the Lancers work it the other way, it's Fletcher. 20 seconds on the clock. Cordell working on Fletcher. Fletcher gets out to Burnham, and we're going to get a timeout taken by the Lancers now. It is a full timeout, and we'll take it as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Those are two very powerful words that can rekindle any spirit. Just because can move mountains and reignite the heart. It doesn't have to be a birthday, an anniversary, or even Christmas to show that special someone in your life just how much you really do care. Show them with a piece of jewelry from Saks, from simple diamond earrings to a beautiful new purse. And do it just because. It's an occasion all its own, with its own unique meaning. Visit Saks for fine jewelry, fashion jewelry, sunglasses, and more. That's Saks on Main Street in St. Mary's, open 10 to 6. Have you scheduled?
And we are back, and what a great game this has been. That's like I thought it would be. St. Mary's did have an 8-point lead at one point for the girls, and the Lancers then brought themselves back and took a lead by 1. And then with about 20 seconds left on the clock, St. Mary's able to put up a 2-point bucket from Casey Haig to take a 1-point lead over the Lancers. Lancers take a timeout, and now they have 1 30-second timeout left. 14 seconds on the clock, and the Lancers will inbound. I know they're going to play for the last shot, last bucket. St. Mary's has just got to play good, sound defense and not foul them. It's Marsh, guarded by Haig, and we're going to get a travel called against Marsh as she was trapped by the Lumberjacks and took an extra step. 6 seconds left, so the Lancers only have one option right now, and that is to either foul or to try to get a quick steal. St. Mary's takes their last timeout as Coach Jay Signs wants to go over this last possession, hopefully, with his team. And holy smokes, great defense there by St. Mary's. Gets Marsh trapped just above the wing on the right side, on the left side, and then Madison Cordell is able to strip it away. And St. Mary's was able to get the ball, and Coach Signs was able to call the timeout. Or no, it wasn't a turn, it wasn't a steal. It was a travel, that's right, by Marsh. I heard the whistle blow, and I had to hold my breath for a split second just in hopes that it wasn't a foul being called. So they will reset. Once again, we are running a bit late here tonight. 7:30 right now for this game, as the varsity boys game was supposed to tip off at 7:30, so they'll probably have an abbreviated warm-up for the Lumberjack boys and then get the game going as quickly as they can, so that everybody's not hanging around too late. St. Mary's will be ready to inbound. They're all stacking up. If they get it inbounds, I expect a quick foul from Liberty. And they find Haig cutting all the way down the floor, and Haig's going to get shoved in the back, and that almost should be a T and or a intentional foul or whatever they want to call it, and it is, as she shoved Haig in the back as she did not have any possession to try to even get a foul, legitimate foul. I'm not sure if that's a technical or just a intentional is what that's called. I think it's a technical, and it is. So that'll send Casey Haig to the free throw line. Casey Haig streaked down the floor. Lumberjacks passes. She's breaking into the lane. And number 22, Holwegner, just shoves her in the back. 4 from 8 from the free throw line is Haig. She misses the first one. 4 seconds on the clock. St. Mary's will get the possession as well. That one is nothing but net. Casey Haig with 11 points and 8 rebounds in the game. So St. Mary's will inbound from underneath, leading by 2. And again, it'll be a quick foul by the Lancers, and that foul goes against Fletcher, and that'll send Madison Cordell to the charity stripe. Cordell 2 for 3 from the line, and that is the 5th foul on, they say that one, no, they say that was on Fletcher. That is her 2nd. So Cordell lines up for the free throws. And she makes the front end. I think it was bonus time was that shot, so it was the front end of the 1-and-1. St. Mary's has this game pretty much in hand now with a 4-point lead. No, 3-point lead. One more and it'll be 4, and that one's in. 4-point lead for the Lumberjacks, 39-43 with 3 seconds left. Lumberjacks put some pressure on. Burnham brings it across, and she's going to fling it late at the buzzer. No good, and St. Mary's Lumberjack girls come away with the 43-39 victory here on senior night. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with the final game wrap-up.
Your Medicare wellness visit, Benoit Community Hospital is here to help. If you've had Medicare Part B for longer than 12 months, you can get this visit to develop or update a personalized prevention health plan. The best part is, you pay nothing for yearly Medicare wellness visits. Call 245-2591 today to take advantage of your Medicare wellness benefits. The St. Mary's Family Medicine Office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 245-2591. Looking for that perfect shot of your athlete in action? Always too busy cheering them on to take your own? Check out Michelle Davenport of MD Photography. MD Photography specializes in catching that perfect action shot. Whether it's high school, middle school, or somewhere in between, MD Photography is the photographer of choice. Composites, action shots, and special one-of-a-kind projects, MD Photography does it. Check out MD Photography on Facebook or give her a call at 582-1586. That's MD Photography, 582-1586. MD Photography, catching your athletes in action. Winter is in full force, and Timber Country and the Country Fair invite you in out of the cold to check out their winter sale deals. Need some new winter boots or gloves? How does 20% off sound? Maybe a new jacket. 40 or 50% off sounds great. Those deals and more at Timber Country and Country Fair on Main Street in St. Mary's. There's more than clothes as well. Sports apparel, hunting gear, toys, sleds, and more at Timber Country and the Country Fair in St. Mary's. Stop by today.
Unleash your colors today with a School Spirit debit card from P1FCU. Our cards are back and better than ever with a bright design that will make you proud to represent your school. P1FCU has joined the Mascot Madness, and you can too, no matter who you cheer for. Stop by to sign up for your new exclusive School Spirit Debit MasterCard or visit us online at p1fcu.org for more information. There is no us without you at P1FCU, federally insured by NCUA.
Fire Chief Larry Nacarado.
And we are back as the Lumberjack girls come away with the 43-39 victory over the Liberty Lancers in a tight game. That last half looked like this. Very interesting how these numbers worked out. St. Mary scored 9 in the third. Liberty scored 9 in the third. And in the fourth, 5 points for St. Mary's, 5 points for Liberty. So great game by the Lumberjack girls. As well as Liberty was also. Liberty had a 30% shooting from the field, 37% from two-point range, and 80% from the free throw line. Liberty with 36 rebounds. They had 6 assists. They stole the ball 8 times. They blocked 4 Lumberjack shots, and they turned the ball over 16 times. They committed 18 fouls. Individually, my numbers are kind of goofy here. I don't have them exactly right, so I'll just go with the lead scorer was Maisie Burnham. She did have 18 points, but she only scored 4 in the second half, so St. Mary's was able to at least close her down, and I think that's the second least points she scored in a game. So the Lumberjacks were able to hold her to her second least scoring against an opponent, so not bad there for the Lumberjack defense. Looking at the Lumberjacks as a team, they shot 31% from the floor. They shot 34% from two-point range, and just 14% from three-point range, 53% from the charity stripe. St. Mary's with 28 rebounds, 10 assists, 7 steals, 2 blocked shots. They turned the ball over 15 times, and they fouled the Lancers 15 times. Leading scoring for St. Mary's, Casey Haig had 11 points with 8 rebounds. 8 points for Madison Cordell, 7 points for Devin Wilson, 6 points and 8 rebounds for Kaylee Auer. Devin Wilson had 7 points. She also had 5 assists, 6 points for Paige Sines, and 5 points for Nancy Bechtel. And I don't know if I went with Cordell, but I did say Cordell. She had 8 points in her game. So that is a look at the final game wrap-up for the girls. We've got boys coming up right now. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with our pregame for the boys.
Wants to remind you that this time of the year, chimney fires are a common occurrence, but can be prevented. St. Mary's Fire Department wants to remind you that they loan out chimney brushes and rods for free. They do chimney inspections for free and will even come to your house and offer chimney fire prevention training for free. Don't neglect your chimney. Call St. Mary's Fire Department today at 245-5253. That's 245-5253. This public safety message from the St. Mary's Fire Department.
At Les Schwab Tires, we don't just sell tires, but our sign isn't big enough for the name Les Schwab Tires, Brakes, Alignment, Shocks, Rims, and Batteries. And that would also leave off the how we do it part, which would read Les Schwab Honest, Friendly, Trustworthy Tires, Brakes, Alignment, Shocks, Wheels, Batteries, and Popcorn. We could shorten it to Les Schwab Popcorn, but that might just be confusing. So for now, we'll stick with tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing matters.
Tired of the same old thing for dinner? Want something different without having to clean up afterwards? Stop by Cabin City Q Smokehouse in St. Mary's for some of the best barbecue around. Cabin City Q has the biggest, tastiest hamburgers around, as well as smoked chicken, brisket, ribs, and prime rib on Fridays. Cabin City Q also has a terrific salad bar. Cabin City Q also serves breakfast. That's Cabin City Q, located at 2242 West Idaho Avenue in St. Mary's. Give them a call at 208-245-0785 or stop by today. That's Cabin City Q Smokehouse in St. Mary's.
Carissa's Clubhouse in St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter. If you are looking for a fun, friendly daycare and preschool for your little one, call Carissa's Clubhouse at 208-582-1431. Children from 6 weeks and up are welcome to come and play at Carissa's Clubhouse in St. Mary's. Carissa's Clubhouse offers full-time, part-time, and even drop-ins. So if you need a fun, safe, and friendly daycare or preschool for your little one, call Carissa's Clubhouse at 208-582-1431. That's 208-582-1431. Carissa's Clubhouse in St. Mary's.
Some people select their grocery items with an eye on every cent they spend. Some people don't. But if you don't happen to be a millionaire, you'll appreciate Archie's IGA. At Archie's IGA, prices are always lower. You might even say significantly lower. Archie's quality and selection is consistently better, and put them together and you get a greater satisfaction in meats, produce, baked goods, and all the rest. Find out for yourself the difference shopping at Archie's IGA makes. Do it today. That's Archie's IGA, your hometown proud grocer.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? Call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing proudly sponsors this Lumberjack Sports broadcast.
Do you need help finding that
And we are back, and now we will start our pregame for the Lumberjack girl, or the boys, I should say, as the Lumberjack boys get set to take on the Liberty Lancers. Once again, Lumberjack basketball brought to you by P1FCU, Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union, proud sponsors of the School Spirit Program. They are proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsors as well right here on KOFE. Liberty Lancers, they come into tonight's game with the Lumberjacks with a 12-2 overall record. They are 10-2 in league. They are putting up 70 points per game and only allowing 53 points per game to their opponents. They are a very, very stout group of boys for that team. Common opponent for the two teams, Liberty and Northwest Christian. Liberty beat Northwest Christian by a score of 66-44. St. Mary's played Northwest Christian, and St. Mary's lost by a score of 67-63. So this is going to be, from those numbers, a very tough game for this Lumberjack squad. And one other point to make a point of is that St. Mary's is a little bit outgunned as it pertains to size-wise, as the Lancers have 6-foot players, 6'1", 6'3", 5'9", 6'5", 6'2", 6'1", 6'5", and 6'7". So they have St. Mary's outmatched a little bit on the side of height. So it's going to be tough there. The two 6'5" and 6'7" players, Bo St. John is 6'5", 265 pounds, and John Denny is 6'7", 270 pounds. So a couple of big-bodied boys for the Lancers down there inside. Points for the Lancers goes like this. Jeske, he is the leading scorer, averaging 19 points per game. Otmar is averaging 16 points per game, and Redder is averaging 11 points per game. 8 points per game for here, 6 points per game for Brandon Halling, and Juwan Nave is averaging 6 points per game as well. St. Mary's played Liberty last year in Liberty, and St. Mary's defeated Liberty by a score of 67-63. In that game, the Lancers shot just 36% from the floor, 38% from two-point range, and 62% from the free throw line. For the Lumberjacks in that matchup, they shot 43% from the floor, 49% from two-point range, 29% from three-point range, and 73% from the charity stripe. So that is a little bit of back information on these two teams. Now let's take a look at the Lumberjacks, who come into tonight's game with a 10-2 record, 4-1 in, they're 2-0 in their league. St. Mary's shooting or putting up around 62 points per game and shooting 46% from the floor. The Lumberjacks also shooting 37% from downtown, but struggling from the free throw line at just 59%, averaging 30 rebounds per game and 8 assists. These stats, of course, are just for 8 of the 12 games St. Mary's has played. Taking a look at the 2A Central Idaho League, St. Mary's, of course, I said 10-2, 2-0 in league. They are 4th in the power rankings on Idaho Sports. The last game for St. Mary's was a 57-52 loss to Kellogg on Saturday. Grangeville Bulldogs have a 10-4 record. They are 0-1 in league. They have a 3rd right now in the power rankings on idahosports.com. Their last game was a 66-61 win versus Tri-Valley. And Orofino, they are 2-11 on the season, 0-1 in league, 18th in the power rankings, and their last game was a 37-25 win over the Genesee Bulldogs. Looking at some individual numbers here just stand out to me a little bit. Eli Gibson, he's been shooting pretty good from the free throw line. He's 7 of 11 in the 8 games that I have stats for. Mikey Bassett is 4 for 4 from the free throw line in those 8 games. Jackson Pritchard, he is 13 of 14 from the free throw line. He is also 25 of 68 from three-point range. Glover Buell, he is shooting pretty good from the charity stripe as well, 13 of 17 from the free throw line in 8 games. And then we've got Caden Hammond, who is having an overall excellent season. He's shooting 60% from the field. He's 24 of 40. He's also shooting 66% from two-point range, 21 of 32 from two-point range. He also has 22 assists and 21 steals on the season in the 8 games that I have stats for. That's 8 out of 12 games. Dan Howard, he has only played 4 or 5 games or so, and he is averaging 59% from the floor, 29 of 49, and he is also averaging 61% from two-point range for 28 of 46, as he is playing pretty well as well. Also averaging 12 points per game to go along with 6 rebounds. Lumberjacks have 3 players that average double digits. Tyler Lohman was up there, but he's had a couple of dry spells. Lohman is only averaging right around 9 points per game right now. Jackson Pritchard is averaging 15. Glover Buell with 10. Dan Howard with 12. And Caden Hammond is on the cusp of double digits per games as well. He has 8 points per game. And actually, if you add in those other 4 games that I don't have stats for, some of those players very well could be still in the double-digit numbers per game, including Tyler Lohman. So you can take those numbers with a little bit of a grain of salt because they aren't for the total season. So let's see what we've got here. I'm trying to see if we got our starters on the bench down here, and I can mark them down so that we can get this thing underway. And let's see here. Okay, I've got our starters for St. Mary's. There's a little bit of a change to the starters for St. Mary's, an exciting change to me for St. Mary's. And we'll let you know about that when I give you the starting lineup. Oh, actually, I have to correct myself from earlier in my game, in the girls' game. I said that last game, the last time these teams were supposed to play, was canceled because of weather. It was not. I will get to that in a moment as well. The starting lineup for the Lancers: number 12, Brandon Halling. Number 14, Thomas Redder. Number 24, Isaac Otmar. Number 32, Justin Jeske. And number 34, James Hare. They are coached by, let's see here, trying to find the coach, Mike Thacker. Now the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and here's the one that's exciting to me. Starting for the Lumberjacks, 5'11" freshman, number 2, Eli Gibson, getting his first start of his varsity career. Number 21, 6'1" junior guard, Jackson Pritchard. Number 32, 6'3" senior post, Glover Buell. Number 33, 6' junior guard, Caden Hammond. And of course, number 50, 6'2" junior post, Daniel Howard, rounding out the Lumberjack starting lineup. Lumberjacks, of course, coached by Brian Chase. He is assisted by Chris Peen Asbury. Lumberjacks wearing their white uniforms, the Lancers in their red, and the Lumberjacks will be going left to right as I set up in the weight room, and the Lancers will be going right to left, and near me or towards me, and the Lumberjacks going away from me, any way you want to look at it. It will be Dan Howard. He will be jumping against Isaac Godmar, 6'5" versus 6'3". The game that was supposed to be scheduled originally was canceled or postponed because the football team for Liberty was headed to their state championship game. And the ref has to, I don't know what exactly he was doing. He had to reposition a couple of players. The tip is up. It's going to be controlled by Caden Hammond. Caden Hammond brings it across the timeline, down to the corner to Pritchard, back out to Hammond. Hammond going to set up the Lumberjack offense from the top. He's going to go over the top to Buell. Buell looking for a cutting Pritchard, but Pritchard not open. Howard almost loses the ball as he had it. Lumberjacks recover, though. And it's back to the top to Hammond. Hammond drives, shot, up and good as Hammond drove from the left side. Count the bucket and the foul. Caden Hammond has been absolutely great in doing that. That foul goes against number 24. That is his first. That's Otmar, and Hammond knocks through the free throw for a 3-0 lead. Hammond shooting 48% from the stripe. Lumberjacks into a trap, half-court trap. The Lancers get it down across the timeline. Then they kick it out to Brandon Halling. Now down to the wing, and now inside. Shot is up and good, contested. That was number 34 that put that one up and good. That's here Lumberjacks now quickly the other way. They find Buell. And the ball is going to go out of bounds as Buell couldn't quite handle it. And turnover St. Mary's. Lumberjacks now into the press. Now it looks like they're pulling back into the trap again. They get a three-person trap, and then he spins out of it. They try to bounce it inside. Glover Buell comes away with a steal. Turnover on the Lancers. Caden Hammond down the other way. He's on the wing. Kicks it into Howard. Up and good as Howard sprinted down the paint. 5-2. St. Mary's out to a 3-point lead over the Lancers. Lancers quickly back down across the timeline. They try to work it in, losing the handle on it. Turnover, and I don't know who it was for St. Mary's that got the steal, but it was another steal, and then St. Mary's turns it over. Back the other way, shot up and no good from the blocks on the far side, and a foul called. That one goes against Dan Howard. That is his first foul. That sends number 32, Jeske, to the free throw line. And the first free throw is no good. Jeske lines up the next one. That one is good. As Lumberjacks inbound. A little bit of pressure from the Lancers. Eli Gibson now has it. Lumberjacks got to get it across the timeline. They only have 10 seconds. Caden Hammond can't get it across in time. Good defense by the Lancers. St. Mary's taking a little bit too much time. Coach Chase a little bit irritated as guys weren't moving around and coming back to the ball. New look on Coach Chase. I don't see a mustache on him right now. Lancers bring it back in after the Lumberjack turnover. 5-3 the score. St. Mary's up. Three-pointer on the way. It's in and out. Dan Howard up strong on the rebound. Lumberjacks down the floor. Eli Gibson controls it. He's going to take it, little stutter step, drive, shot up, good. Are they going to count it? No, they're going to wave off the shot, call it on the floor. Bummer for Gibson, but he did draw the foul. That foul goes against number 12. That's Halling. That's his first, team's second. Inbound pass comes into Howard. Howard out to Hammond. Hammond looks for Howard inside, and it's going to go out of bounds off of the Lancers. Kind of an ill-advised pass unless he meant to bounce off of his back and out of bounds. I'm not sure. Hammond will trigger from underneath. Trying to find somebody to get it to, up to the top to Buell. Buell out to Gibson. 5:50 to go in the game. First period, 5-3. St. Mary's up. Gibson to Hammond. Hammond to Howard. Howard working from underneath. Spins on the blocks. Shot is up and no good. Ball gets kicked out and the rebound finds to the Lancers. Lancers bringing it down the floor. Pass down to the wing, now down underneath. And I think they're going to get a foul underneath. I think it's against, no, they say Howard. That was away from the ball, I guess, because I thought it was Buell down there. Howard's going to come out with his 2 early fouls. Kevin Duffield comes in for the St. Mary's Lumberjacks as the Lancers will inbound from underneath. 2 fouls apiece for both teams. St. Mary's still up by 2. Jump shot, no good. Hammond on the rebound. Lumberjacks now the other way. Hammond to Pritchard. Pritchard spins, kicks it back out to Gibson. Gibson for 3. It's just off the iron, no good. Rebound goes to the Lancers. Back the other way, going up for the shot was number 34. That's James Herr. And I think Eli Gibson gets called for the foul. That'll send here to the free throw line. First time for him. And he knocks down the first one. Coy Sands enters the game for St. Mary's. Sitting down is Gibson. Here's next shot is up. That one is going to fall through. It looked like it was short and it rolled over the rim and in. Tie game, 5 apiece. Pass across to Pritchard. Pritchard tries to feed into Buell. Bad choice by Pritchard as it's turned over. Stolen by a interception. It was almost like a football interception by the Lancers. 5-5 the score. Lancers working here. Spins into the paint. Shot is up and good. No, that was Jeske. 2-point lead for the Lancers. St. Mary's back the other way. Coy Sands, no look into Howard, or to Duffield. Back out to Hammond. Hammond, top of the key. He's trying to find his way in, can't do it. Picks up his dribble, finds finds Pritchard. Pritchard for three, that's off the mark. Rebound no to Hammond. Hammond's gonna drive, floater up and no good. Rebound this time to the Lancers. Bad pass by the Lancers, though, goes out of bounds as they pass it cross court, and St. Mary's will take over after the out of bounds, after the turnover. 5-7, St. Mary's trails by 2. Looks like a half-court trap possibly by the Lancers. Hammond almost makes a bad pass, then he travels. I didn't really quite see the travel because he didn't have possession of the ball, but they call it anyways. 4:10 to go, 7-5 in the first period. Lancers on top. It was Jeske, he kicked it back out to Holy. Now they get it down inside. Shot is up and no good by Otmar, and Otmar gets fouled. That foul goes against Glover Buell. St. Mary's with 4 fouls already, barely halfway through the first. Coach Chase wants an explanation of the foul. That first free throw is up and good by Otmar. Most of the points right now being made from the free throw line they got 4 from the field and 4 from the free throw line. Second one is no good. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by the Lancers after the rebound attempt. Coy Sands, I thought he slapped it out of bounds, but they say no. Now they weren't quite ready for the inbound pass. Not exactly sure what happened, but they blew the whistle dead. St. Mary's has to inbound again. They do. Press again from the Lancers. Pritchard has it, feeds it over to Hammond. Hammond takes it across the timeline. Hammond up high to Duffield. Duffield to Sands. Sands can't finish off the glass. Had a good look. And the rebound goes to the Lancers. They're going to bring it down the floor. Here has it. Kicks it out to Halling. Halling around the horn to Jeske. Jeske kicks it underneath to here. Now they get it to the blocks, and it's no good. It's going to be stripped out by Hammond. And the Lumberjacks have a steal. Lumberjacks almost lose the ball themselves, and we get a timeout taken by Coach Chase. Coach Chase is a little bit hot under the collar, I think, after that possession for St. Mary's. The score is 8-5. St. Mary's over the Lancers, and we are just a little bit over halfway through the first period of play. And right now, though, St. Mary's, they may be having a little bit of some sloppy play down on the side of the floor right now, but they are hanging right in there with this team that is a stout basketball team out of Washington. Waiting for the timeout to end. St. Mary's will have the possession. I think they'll inbound from underneath. Nope, they'll inbound from side court down in front of the Lumberjack fans. Inbound pass comes into Hammond. Hammond takes it across, kicks it over to Pritchard. Pritchard quickly guarded on the wing, now back to Hammond. Tyler Lohman is entered for St. Mary's, as I'm not sure who came out. I think it was Duffield that came out. No, Duffield's still in. Now Buell has it. He drives, spins into the paint. Nice touch, and the shot goes in. 8-7. It's a 1-point lead for the Lancers. St. Mary's puts a little bit of a trap on, but they back out of it quick. A bad pass. Tyler Lohman almost comes away with it. And then Duffield steps in front of a pass and steals it away. Lumberjacks back the other way. Oh, a nice look on the alley-oop to Caden Hall, or Caden Green, or Caden Hammond. Can't get the shot to go. It was a great look on that alley-oop attempt. Rebound went to the Lancers. They step into the paint. Shot is up and no good, and another whistle blows. And another foul against St. Mary's. St. Mary's getting bodied pretty good on the opposite end. No whistles, but it seems like a whistle every time St. Mary's comes down this side of the floor. That would be Duffield's first, team's fifth, and that sends Redder to the free throw line, and he's going to miss the first one. Four for 7 from the stripe, and that one falls in for Redder. They're 5 of 8 from the charity stripe. St. Mary's inbounds, trails by 2. Press again by the Lancers, or a trap at least. Down into Buell. Buell tries to back it back out, and he throws it right to the defense. And the Lancers come back the other way. Got to watch those passes. Into the corner is the Lancers. Nave has it. Nave drives across the paint in the lane, and he's going to be fouled. I think that one goes against Tyler Lohman. St. Mary's already with 6 fouls. They're going to say Nave was shooting. Makes the first free throw. I didn't see him shooting. I thought he was just cutting across the lane. 3-point lead for the Lancers. That one is good as well. First Lancer to make, nope, only a second Lancer to make both of his free throws. Lumberjacks back on offense, trail by 4. Pritchard, cross court to Hammond. Hammond down inside to Buell. Buell working, spins, shot up and in off the glass. Nice move, nice work by Buell from the blocks. Low post area, 2-point lead now for the Lancers. St. Mary's trying to get the trap here on the near side. And Caden Hammond drives in there and gets the steal. And then they turn it right back over. And again a foul called against St. Mary's. And the shot counted as well. That was Redder that went up strong. The foul goes against, not sure yet who that went against. That one's going to go against Glover Buell for his second. Redder's free throw is good. Lumberjacks back on offense, trailing by 5. Caden Hammond to Gibson, who's checked back in. Back to Gibson. Gibson to Hammond. Hammond on top. Nice move as Buell's cutting across the baseline, and feeding him is Caden Hammond. Shot is up and in. Buell is 3 for 3 from the floor. And now there's a foul called against Tyler Lohman, and the crowd reacts, wanting to know where the foul was. I wasn't exactly looking up at that time. But they do call a foul against St. Mary's. Foul number 8. Lohman's second foul. That sends Nave to the free throw line. He made his first 2 earlier. Lohman's going to come out. Duffield goes in, and Glover Buell comes out. Mikey Bassett is in for St. Mary's. Nave going to try to make it a 4-point game here with the bonus shot. He does so. He's 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. Oh wait, he's going to make, yeah, he gets another one, that's right. 1 for, with a 1 and 1. Next shot on the way, that one is good as well. Nave 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. St. Mary's brings it back down, trailing by 5. Caden Hammond has it. He takes it around to the left wing. Now back out the top to Pritchard. Pritchard being closely guarded. Pritchard spins, now steps back. Now back to Hammond. Hammond drives. Hammond, nice move. Won't fall in on the shot though. Hammond drove the lane, couldn't get the shot to go. Coming the other way, Nave with a shot up for the Lancers through Timber and gets it to go in. Even the contested clean shots are falling for the Lancers. 7-point lead now for Liberty with 30 seconds to go in the first. Pritchard has the ball now, top of the key. Like to get him an open 3, but it's not looking like it's going to happen too often. I think teams kind of know him now, even though if they haven't played him. So Gibson gets a look. Gibson drives. Gibson goes up for his own rebound. Can't get it. Is getting mugged because he was the first one to have a clean shot at the rebound. And then they call a foul. And let me guess, it's against St. Mary's. Eli Gibson picks up foul number 2. Gibson went up and had a clean chance at that rebound. And instead they call the foul against Gibson. I think that's sending Justin Jeske to the free throw line where he's 1 for 2. So far, 10 of the 18 points for the Lancers has come from the free throw line. 10 of 13. Jeske makes the first one. So fouls, the big story here so far in the first half. St. Mary's with 9 fouls in the first period. Jeske makes both of them. It's a 9-point lead for Liberty. Caden Hammond looking for a screen, gets it, now feeds it into Duffield. Duffield trying for the alley-oop, can't get the shot to go. Rebound was to the Lancers. They can't do nothing with it at the end of the first period. It is 20-11. St. Mary's trails. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Perfect gift. Looking for that personalized touch? Come to Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's and let us fill your balloons. Not only does Jack's carry all of your gift and party supplies, but we're here to serve you with all your personal care items. Come in and let our personal care experts help you find just what you need from our wide selection. If we don't have it, we can get it. Plan your party at Jack's Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Mountain Plating is a premier hard chrome.
And we are back just as the second half, or second period I should say, is getting set to get underway. I think St. Mary's will start with the possession. St. Mary's no, it's the Lancers actually. Shot is up and no good. Duffield gets the rebound. St. Mary's back the other way. Caden Hammond has it. He works his way into the paint, kicks it out to Duffield. Duffield backs it out, tries to back it out to Duffield, or to Bassett. It's deflected back out. Gibson comes away with it. Duffield for the long two, and it's no good. Rebound to the Lancers. Lancers bringing it down the floor. They have it on top, driving. Shot is up and no good, but he is fouled, and I think that one might be against Bassett. That one will be Bassett's first foul, and that'll send Jeske back to the free throw line. First one is in and out. 3 for 5 from the charity stripe is Jeske. Next one is up. That one is good. As it's now a 10-point lead for the Lancers. St. Mary's has been in a dry spell for a little bit. Jackson Pritchard has the ball. He's working over here, and he almost gets the ball stolen, but instead it's a foul against number 12. That's Halling. Brandon Halling, that is his second. Only the third team foul for the Lancers. St. Mary's inbounds. Caden Hammond controls it. Hammond back to Pritchard. Pritchard gets a three. It's good. Jackson Pritchard from straight away three puts it through. 7-point lead for the Lancers, 14-21. Lumberjacks into a bit of a press. Looks like a zone. And the Lancers bring it down across. Up to the top is Jeske. Now over to the wing to Jacob Halling. Now to Nave in the corner. Nave backs it back out to Halling. Now back to Nave. Nave bounces it inside. Shot is up. And a foul against St. Mary's again. Coach Chase is beside himself. I don't think Coach Chase thinks half these fouls have been fouls. That one is against Duffield. That will send Ottmer to the free throw line. Ottmar 1 for 2. He makes that one. 14 of the 22 points for the Liberty boys has come from the free throw line. They're 14 of 18. Make that 15 of 19 as Ottmar knocks down both of those. It's a 11-point lead, no, a 9-point lead for the Lancers. Jackson Pritchard now down inside to Buell. Buell spins, shot is up, can't get it to go. Hammond on the rebound. Lumberjacks reset. Buell for 3, and it's good. I think I'm going to give an assist to Hammond. 23-17. It's a 6-point lead now for the Lancers. St. Mary's working to try to cut that lead. Hammond almost gets a steal. Can't complete it. And the Lancers will reset. Back down inside of the free throw line. Now out to the corner to Jeske. Now to the top. As the Lancers working around the horn to Nave on the left side, or the right side. Now back to the top. That's Halling. Now they kick it inside. Nice little stutter step move. Shot is no good, but the putback is made by Nave. 25-17. St. Mary's trail. Hammond, no look pass to Buell. Buell goes up, gets the shot blocked. Nice head fake from Buell, but not quite good enough to get the foul, and the ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Liberty. Jackson Pritchard will inbound to the top to Gibson. Gibson around to Hammond. Hammond drives. Now he dishes it out to Buell. Buell working, spin, shot is up and good, and the foul. Glover Buell with 11 points. That foul goes against 24. That's Ottmer with his second. I think Buell is the only Lumberjack with double digits, 11 points for him. He'll step to the free throw line, shooting 77% from the stripe. And he knocks through the bonus. It's a 5-point lead for the Lancers. Caden Hammond comes out. Coy Sands comes in for St. Mary's. Lancers bringing it down the floor. It is Jacob Halling. He bounce passes it in to Redder. Redder bounce passes it in to Ottmer, and Ottmer puts it up and good. That's Ottmer's first basket from the floor, or from 2-point range anyways. Buell has it on the corner. He drives, can't get the shot to go. And a fight for the loose ball goes out of bounds off of St. Mary's. St. Mary's trails by 7, just about halfway through the first half, 27-20. St. Mary's with 11 team fouls in the first half. Lancers working. They have it up to the top. That's number 32. That's Jeske. Now back to the opposite side in the corner. And he comes to the top, kicks it to an open Jeske. Jeske for 3. It's no good. Offensive board, though, to the Lancers as they reset. Now they feed it inside. Now Nave, but Nave gets trapped, loses the dribble, has to kick it back out. They kick it out to Halling. Halling to Nave. Nave down to the corner, but a travel called against number 32, Jeske. 6 turnovers on the Lancers, 7 against St. Mary's. Coy Sands brings it out for the Lumberjacks. Coy Sands covers over to Pritchard. Pritchard back to Sands. Sands on the wing on the right. Now back to the left wing to Gibson. Gibson to Pritchard. Pritchard 3, and it's good off the glass. What a shot by Jackson Pritchard. The assist from Eli Gibson. Pritchard does not need to be set to make the 3. And wait a minute, we got a foul called. That foul is called against Liberty. It's an offensive foul, I believe. It goes against Halling. Inbound pass the top to Sands. Pauling being aggressive there. Sands just goes around him, kisses it in and off the glass for Coy Sands. St. Mary's cuts it to a 2-point lead with 2 shots. Lumberjacks back on defense, feeling a little bit of momentum coming their way. Pauling has it. He kicks it to the top to Jacob Pauling. Now back down to the wing, and now the Lancers trying to work it around. St. Mary's trying to be stingy inside. 3-pointer on the way. It's long. Buell on the rebound. That's Buell's first defensive board. St. Mary's quickly the other way. Pritchard to Gibson. Gibson for 3. It's, just barely misses. Good look by Gibson. Couldn't get it to drop. Rebound to the Lancers. Timeout taken by the head coach for the Lancers with 2:57 to go in the first half. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Plating facility, and it is located right here in St. Mary's. Mountain Plating was established in 1997 as one of the first hard chrome plating facilities in Idaho, and it services a wide variety of industries nationwide. These industries include manufacturing, food processing, agriculture, mining, environmental, and the timber industries. Mountain Plating is committed to providing the highest quality chrome plating and customer service in the industry, and is locally owned and operated by Donnie Masterson. Give him a call today at 208-245-7104. Go Lumberjacks!
Wanted, the St. Mary's Booster Club is.
And we are back after the timeout taken by Liberty as they see their lead cut to 2 after having an 11-point lead. St. Mary's 25, Lancers 27. Inbound pass comes to the corner, back out to Nave and up to the top now. It is into the hands of Halling. Halling bounce pass to the near corner to Jeske. Now back to Halling and around to Nave. Lumberjacks playing good inside defense right now. Nave has it again. He's working against Sands. Drives in. Shot is up and no good. Almost had a putback. And finally, Coy Sands comes away with a rebound. St. Mary's going the other way, looking for a chance to tie it up. Back to Coy. Coy on top, back to Duffield. Duffield back to Pritchard. Pritchard going for 3. That looks short. It is, but the rebound goes to the Lumberjacks. That was Duffield with the rebound. And then the ball's getting knocked around. St. Mary's ends up in control still. Gibson has it. Now Coy Sands, top, he's working, goes around, drive, shot is up and in off the glass. Coy Sands, a nice drive to the hoop from the left side. Tie game, 27-all with 1:50 to go in the first half. It's Halling bringing it down, and we're going to get a kickball called by St. Mary's. Caden Hammond's going to check in. Glover Buell goes out. Dan Howard has not been back in since he drew his first 2 fouls early in the first period, so it's been tough not having a big-bodied Howard in there. Lumberjacks maybe trying to go a little bit speedy against the Lancers instead, though. Nave has it. He kicks it over to Halling, now to the wing, or to the corner to Jeske. Jeske for 3. It's short. Hammond on the rebound. Then we get a whistle. And I think they called a travel. Saying Hammond took an extra step. Lancers inbound to the top. Jeske to Nave. Nave over the top, and they're going to get a push, I believe. Yep. Duffield a little push in the back there. I seen that one. That'll put number 24, Ottmer, to the free throw line. Bassett's going to check in. Duffield has 3 fouls. Ottmer is 3 for 4. That one's short. 15 of 20 from the charity stripe for the Lancers. 15 of their 27 points has come from the free throw line. Only 2 of St. Mary's has come from the free throw line. They missed both. St. Mary's on the rebound. That's Hammond. Lumberjacks back the other way. Things slowing down on the offense. Coy Sands gets a little bump, no whistle. Pritchard has it, going the opposite way. Now back to Gibson on top. Gibson looking for an outlet, finds Sands. Sands in no man's land, near side court on the sideline. He bounces it to Gibson. Gibson looking for somebody to give it to. He backs his way into the paint, now kicks it back out to Bassett. Bassett for 3, he's well short. and while off the mark, rebound goes to the Lancers. Lancers bringing it back the other way, 46 ticks on the clock, all tied up, 27 apiece. Lancers may be looking for the last shot. No, they bounce it in. Shot is up and good off the glass, contested though. Nice job by the defense, but they couldn't get the shot blocked. It was Brandon Halling, his first basket on the game. 29-27, St. Mary's trails, 30 seconds to go in the first half that is. St. Mary's needs to come out in the second half and cool down on the fouls, as they've had 12 fouls in the first half. That's what's really hurt him the most. Caden Hammond looking for a screen. He gets it. Then he has to pick up his dribble. He kicks it out to Gibson. Gibson to Pritchard. Pritchard got 4 seconds. He's going to trigger a quick three, and it's going to be no good. Rebound, but nothing happening at the buzzer. So the score at the half is St. Mary's 27, the Lancers 29. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Wanting new members to continue to help support our sports programs. Do you know that the Booster Club spends approximately $20,000 a year investing in our high school athletes, coaches, and sports facilities? All monies are raised through memberships, barbecues, and the Hall of Fame banquet and auction. All monies raised this year will be used in the 2017-2018 school year booster budget. To become a member or for more information, call Lynn Masterson at 568-1802. That's 568-1802, and go Lumberjacks! Winter is here, and it's time to get your animals ready for the winter weather. XXX Feeds in St. Mary's has what you need to keep all your critters comfortable in the cold temperatures. From trough heaters, straw, to insulated horse blankets, your animals large and small need extra attention just like you. So don't forget, while you're stacking your winter firewood, your furry family members need winterizing also. Also, don't forget the wild critters. XXX Feed has wild bird food, deer feed, and game blocks. See XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today, because winter ain't gonna wait. Looking for a new-to-you rig? You're in luck, because Dell's Used Cars has your next truck. Dell's has the best variety of pre-owned trucks in one location anywhere south of the internet. Any make, any model, and new inventory arriving daily. Dell's also will take your trade-in, paid for or not. Financing available through Potlatch, Spokane Teachers, Numerica, and a handful of other lenders, offering the most competitive interest rates available in the market today. Dell's staff is laid back and knowledgeable and ready to answer any of your questions. Come into Dell's Used Cars, located at 1818 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene, or visit their website at dellscars.com. Dell's Used Cars, doing things different since 1974.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
The new year is here, and that means new goals and broken resolutions. It also means red-hot buys at Hughes Ace Hardware in St. Mary's. Time to replace some light bulbs? Buy one, get one free Ace LED bulb 4-packs or floodlight 2-packs. Ace brand wild bird food is on sale as well. Buy one 20-pound bag and get a bag of premium songbird bird food for free. It's also time to take down and store those holiday decorations. And Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to go for all of your storage needs, from totes to shelves. It's all at Hughes Ace Hardware in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks of Premier Financial Services to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and insurance products from Premier Financial Services are offered through Linsco Private Ledger Financial and its affiliates, and they are a member of FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Premier Financial Services today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call.
And it is It is halftime, and the Lumberjacks currently trail the Lancers by a score of 29-27, and it's been a heck of a game. St. Mary's trailed by 9 at the end of the first period, and they outscored the Lancers 16-9 to bring it to within 2. Actually was tied up for just a little bit, so a good game so far, except for the fouls. St. Mary's really hurt themselves with fouls in that first half. The Lancers, they shot just 43% from the floor. They were 7 of 16. It's a pretty good number. I shouldn't say just shot. They were 58% from two-point range, 7 of 12, 0 for 4 from downtown, and they were 15 of 21 from the charity stripe for 71%. 15 of their 29 points on the board came from the free throw line. Individually, it was Nave leading the team in the first half for Liberty with 8 points. 6 points went to Jeske, 5 points to Otmar, 4 points for her, 4 points for Redder, and 1 point for Brandon Halling. For the Lumberjacks, they shot just about 39% from the field, 42% from two-point range, and 33% from downtown in the first half. They were 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, and we know that's 100%. Lumberjacks with 10 rebounds, 4 assists. They stole the ball 5 times, turned the ball over 8 times, and committed 12 fouls in that first half. Leading in scoring in the first half was Glover Buell with 12 points, and 6 points for Jackson Pritchard, 4 points for Coy Sands, 3 points for Caden Hammond, and 2 points for Dan Howard, who came out early because of a couple of fouls early on. Want to keep him good to go in the second half. Caden Hammond also had 5 rebounds with 3 assists and 2 steals, as Caden Hammond is full of energy out there, and he has a lot of great games. Like I said in the pregame, Hammond is not averaging. He has 22 assists and 21 steals in the 8 games that I have, and that's let me see here. He's averaging, if he's averaging 3 assists per game, he's obviously averaging close to 3 steals per game as well. So he's got probably close to 30 of each on the season. Anyways, with that being said, we are at halftime, 29-27. St. Mary's trails by 2. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
The professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With large, spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Cold weather's here, and 10th Street Lumber will help keep you warm. From super premium pellets to energy.
And we are back as And we are back as halftime is getting close to come to an end here. And just a little development that I've seen, and I don't know what it means, but Caden Hammond was down there getting his right leg stretched out by his dad, by TJ Hammond, and he got up and he was a little bit gimpy on that leg, so I don't know if he was actually, if he's maybe got a little bit of a cramp or something going on, or hopefully it's nothing that keeps him from seeing much time in the second half. We'll have to see what happens with Caden Hammond. He was one of the starters, so if he's going to be out there, he'll be out there right off the bat, so I guess we'll know. St. Mary's trails 29-27 starting the second half. Lumberjacks will be going from right to left, and the Lancers left to right. St. Mary's will be coming towards me as I sit up in the weight room here in Lumberjack Gymnasium, and the Lancers will be going away. And still waiting to see as both teams getting last-minute instructions from their coaches. I'm not sure. It looks like the possession arrow will go to St. Mary's. They'll get the first possession of the second half with a chance to tie it up. Caden Hammond does come out on the floor. It's the same starters for the Lumberjacks as from the beginning, but Caden Hammond a little slow out there. He's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. Dan Howard, Eli Gibson, Glover Buell, Jackson Pritchard, Caden Hammond on the floor for St. Mary's. Hammond brings it down across, directing traffic, kicks it over to Buell. Buell on the wing. Buell looking for an outlet. He can still dribble. He does once and kicks it back to Hammond. Hammond on top. Now to Pritchard. Pritchard can't get a clean look at three, so instead he tries to drive, and there's going to be a foul called against Liberty. That foul goes against number 34. That's Ottmer. That's his first in this half. That's his third altogether. St. Mary's will inbound. They get it all the way to the top to Gibson. Gibson hands it back off to Hammond as the Lumberjacks set up the offense. They're being patient here at the beginning, slowing things down. Hammond picks up his dribble, looking for an outlet, finds Howard. Howard tries to give it right back to him, and almost stealing the ball is Redder, but instead Redder gets called for a foul. And Redder had no fouls in the first half. That's his first here. So 2 quick fouls against the Lancers to start the second half. Maybe the whistles will go in favor of St. Mary's here in the second half. Hammond working. Hammond picks up his dribble, kicks it to Buell. Buell looking over the top to Howard. Howard, nice move. It's up and in. Glover Buell with an assist. Dan Howard with 2 more points on the board. St. Mary's into a press. Tie game, 29 all. Halling has it. The Lumberjacks trying to make the turnover. Dan Howard deflects the ball out of bounds on a pass. Lancers will inbound from in front of their bench. Inbound pass comes right in. Another pass. They try to feed it over the top to inside. Inside. Dan Howard deflects that one out of bounds. So the Lancers will inbound from the end now. They kick it up to the top. And a little bit of a travel maybe, but no whistle. Almost losing the ball is Jeske. He finally kicks it out, and the three-pointer is up and good. That's number 34 with a three-pointer. Back the other way. St. Mary's is working, trailing by 3. Gibson over the top to Howard, and it was a bad pass, and they're going to call a foul against, I think it goes against number 14. That's Redder getting another foul as he was trying to keep Dan Howard from getting that ball. Lumberjacks inbound. Howard goes up for a shot. It's no good. And the rebound comes back to the Lancers, and this time Dan Howard gets called for a foul. That's his third. Lancers inbound. Lancers bringing it down across. They get it out to the wing. Driving in is 34. He comes into a wall, puts the shot up, and it somehow still goes in. That's James here. Now St. Mary's coming back down as they had tied it back up. Now they're trailing by 4, and another turnover on St. Mary's. Taking it the other way, Jeske. Jeske is going to run into Gibson, who gets set. Gibson takes the charge. Jeske's first foul of the game. 4th team foul against the Lancers. Coy Sands into the game. Caden Hammond is out. I think Hammond's hobbled just a little bit. Sands bringing it across. Gonna dribble down the near side. Takes it all the way. Nice move by Coy Sands as he takes it to the hoop. 3-point deficit for the Lumberjacks. 34-31. Lots of time. 5 minutes in the third. 3-pointer on the way. It's long. It's a long 3-pointer. It's short, and it goes out of bounds. And St. Mary's will have the ball. Coy Sands quickly down the floor again, kicks it out to Gibson. Gibson a little bit too far out to try a 3, so he gives it back to Sands. Sands comes here towards the near side. Lumberjacks working around, trying to find an opening. Coy Sands bounces into Howard. Howard's working, spins, fakes the shot, then picks it back out to Pritchard. Pritchard finds Gibson cross court. Now Gibson picks up his dribble back to Pritchard. Pritchard's 3 is tipped. It was no good, but Dan Howard was there for the rebound, basically, and the putback. 1-point lead for the Lancers. You could almost call it an assist, but I know it was a shot by Pritchard. Lancers back the other way. Halling. He kicks it out to Jeske. Jeske works it inside. They have to kick it back out. The long shot on the way is no good. And the foul on the rebound goes against Liberty. No, maybe it wasn't a foul. Ball went out of bounds off of Liberty. Coy Sands, who came in, Tyler Lohman is into the game for St. Mary's as Howard comes out for a breather. Nope, that was a foul against number 34. Number 34 is here. Lumberjacks working it back around. Now they feed it inside. Pritchard, a little step back. Shot is no good. Rebound went to the Lancers. That was Jackson Pritchard's first shot from the floor. Score still stays 34-33 with St. Mary's up by 1. Halfway through. Nice move by Jeske is up and good. Jeske drove the paint, little reverse lay-in. Lumberjacks back on offense, trailing by 3. Sands kicks it out to Gibson. Gibson gets a nice clean look. Can't get the shot to go, but he is going to be fouled. That foul goes against Jeske, I do believe. His second foul. 6th team foul on the Lancers. So St. Mary's is role reversing a little bit on Liberty as Liberty now has 6 fouls, not even barely halfway through the third period. Gibson makes the first free throw. Gibson, I said, shooting around 66% from the stripe. Hammond's going to the locker room. I think something's up with that hamstring or something on him as he just was walking real stiff. Third free throw coming for Gibson as he gets a chance to tie it up here. And that one is nothing but net. Boy, does Eli Gibson have a pretty stroke on his free throw shots. Lancers running quickly down the floor, trying to make a quick go the other way, and Duffield thought he had a good clean block, but Duffield gets called for his 4th foul, team's 2nd. So that'll send Liberty to the free throw line. That is number 34. That's here going to the free throw line. He was 2 for 2 in the first half. Makes the first one. Dan Howard's going to check in for St. Mary's. Duffield's coming out. 4 fouls for number 4. Waiting for Here's second free throw. On the way, that one's off the mark. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Lancers, so St. Mary's will inbound. Lancers now with a 1-point lead. 6 team fouls for Liberty, though, just 3 for the Lumberjacks. They need to keep it that way, or 2 for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's needs to keep that way as long as they can. Draw a few more fouls against Liberty and start going to the free throw line. Do a little roll reversal there. Coy Sands going to bring it down for St. Mary's, brings it across. Jeske guarding him. He takes it to the near side, spits it to Gibson. Gibson spins, drives in, tries to feed it over the top to Howard. Ball is loose, and it's going to be a turnover St. Mary's. I'm going to say turnover on Gibson. Lancers bringing it back down. Long 3 is good. That was number 34. That is here. Lumberjacks now the other way, and I believe, I was looking down at the time, I believe that was Tyler Lohman that put that shot up and in. 40-38, St. Mary's trails by 2. Under 3. Driving the paint, losing the ball was number 14. Ball is still loose, and a whistle and a timeout, I guess, taken by Liberty. Bodies all over the place. I can't tell exactly what happened down there, but it's going to be a timeout taken by the Lancers. And it's just a 30-second timeout. I didn't know if there was going to be a foul or a travel or something else called down there on that end. Take a look at the scoring so far in the third period. St. Mary, they're all knotted up, 11 apiece in the third. A couple of three-pointers have been made by Liberty. But like I said, the biggest story so far, well, I've got too many fouls marked down here on the list for Liberty. They've got 6. I've got them marked down, I think, for 7. No, I got marked down for 8 for some reason. Oh, fouls from the first half for the other guys. That's right. Shot is up and off the glass for the Lancers on the inbound pass, and that was number 14. That's Thomas Redder. 4-point lead for the Lancers. They stretch it back out just a little bit. Coy Sands has it. He kicks it to Hammond, who's come back into the game. They get it to Tyler Lohman. Lohman inside trying to find Hammond, or Howard. It's just a little bit wide. And the Lancers see if they can get points off turnovers. We get a foul underneath, and it's going to be an offensive foul against the Lancers. That one goes against Nave. It's foul number 7, but it's an offensive foul, so it doesn't count for the 1-and-1. But they will be in the bonus from here on. Caden Hammond bringing it down for St. Mary's, kicks it to Pritchard. Pritchard looking for some room. He goes to the far side, kicks it out to Sands on the corner. Sands almost loses the handle, has to pick up the dribble, finds an outlet in Hammond. Hammond into Lohman. Lohman, nice move, step back jumper. Caden Hammond with an assist on that one. 42-40, St. Mary's trails by 2, minute 40 to go in the game in the third period. And back the other way, and a nice shot, nice move, and Dan Howard made a nice defensive stand there, but Ottmer able to put it in off the glass, even with Howard in his face. Lumberjacks, nice pass down the floor. Tyler Lohman goes up strong, can't finish on the shot. Ball is going to go out of bounds, and it stays with St. Mary's. Been some nice ball movement by both sides, some nice moves to the hoop, and lots of fun action here in this one. Hammond looks for an inbound guy, gets it into Lohman. Lohman can't get an open shot. He backs it back out to Pritchard. Now Pritchard finds Lohman. Lohman for 3, it's no good. And there's going to be a push on Nave as he shoves Coy Sands out of the way. That should send, well, it is the 1-and-1. Yeah, it's going to be Coy Sands going to the free throw line. Coy shooting around 57% from the stripe. Nave wants explanation, but unless Coy flopped, but Nave gave him a little push there. Front end of the 1-and-1 is no good, though. Rebound goes to the Lancers. Free throws kill St. Mary's here and there. They definitely hurt them against Kellogg, and it's not helping them a lot here. They are only trailing by 4, but free throws are big, especially down the stretch. 1 minute left in the third period, 44-40. It's Liberty on top. They work to try to re-extend their lead, and Lohman had his hand straight up and gets called for the foul. I believe it was Lohman. Actually, it looks like it was Hammond. And that is Redder from the free throw line, and he makes the first one. Redder's next one is on the way. It too is good. 46-40, it's a 6-point lead as the Lancers have been able to stretch it back out. Under a minute to go in the third period. Lumberjacks working. Coy Sands gets a screen. Coy bounce pass to, tries to bounce it into Lohman. It's going to be a kickball by Isaac Otmar, and the Lumberjacks will inbound from underneath. Jackson Pritchard. Jackson thought Tyler was going to step out to take that pass, and he didn't. And it goes right out of bounds. Turnover, St. Mary's. So the Lancers will bring it down with 48 seconds in the third with a 6-point lead. St. Mary's had tied it for a little bit. Now they've been quiet a little bit on the scoring side of things. Lumberjack defense now working against the Lancers. Lancers working it around. Nave has it. He's going to spin. Jump shot. It's well short. Lohman comes up with the rebound. St. Mary's bringing it down the floor. Coy has it. Coy gets it out to Pritchard. Pritchard over to Hammond. Hammond trying to work his way in. Has to kick it back out to Pritchard. Pritchard's going to cut his way through traffic. The shot is kind of wild and off the glass and no good. Ball is loose. Finally coming away with it is the Lancers. And the Lancers work down with 5 seconds. Shot is up off the glass. No good. The putback is in at the buzzer. So at the end of the third, it's 48-40. Lancers re-stretch it back out to an 8-point lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Cold weather's here, and 10th Street Lumber will help keep you warm. From super premium pellets to energy logs and fireplaces, 10th Street Lumber is your heating headquarters. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best of the best. 100% natural with no chemicals, and they burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's. Stop by today. 10th Street Lumber located at 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
And we are back as we get ready to start the final period of play here in a tight game, 48-40. St. Mary's having a tough time. They had it cut down and tied the game up in the third, but the Lancers able to re-stretch back out to an 8-point lead. St. Mary's outscored 19-13 in the third. St. Mary's went on a 16-9 run in the second period, and then they came out on fire in the third and tied it back up, and then now the Lancers able to stretch it back out once again. Nice scoring spread around so far for St. Mary's. Glover Buell, though, does have 12. Dan Howard with 6. Coy Sands and Jackson Pritchard both have 6. 4 for Lohman, 3 for Hammond, and 3 for Gibson. The Lancers will start with the possession in the fourth, trying to make it a 10-point lead as they work it around the top of the key. Down to Nave. Nave works it inside. Shot is up. It won't go in. Duffield tries to get the rebound. It's going to be knocked out of his hands and out of bounds off of Liberty. So St. Mary's will inbound, looking to maybe get some points on the board here to start the fourth to cut this lead back down. A three-pointer would be great. St. Mary's haven't had a lot of good clean looks from three, though. Pritchard to Hammond. Hammond gets a screen from Buell. Hammond works his way, cuts into the paint, going to draw a foul. That'll send Caden Hammond to the cherry stripe. He's 1 of 1. And that foul goes against number 24. That is his third. 9 fouls for the Lancers. And Hammond misses that one. Goes in and out. Hammond, second shot on the way. That one is good. Hammond with 4 points and 5 rebounds. 7-point difference as the Lumberjacks trail. Lancers working on offense. Lumberjacks try to get him trapped. They had it for a second. Then Hammond steps in front of a pass and steals it away. St. Mary's still fighting for it. And the ball's going to stay with the Lancers. I'm not going to credit that as anything. It was just kind of batted around like a volleyball. It was a great job by Hammond trying to get in there and steal it. Lancers will inbound. They feed it inside. Shot is up, and the height there helps them really get that up and over. I believe that was number 14. Lumberjacks coming back the other way, trailing by 9, and a foul on the floor called against, I believe it may be number 12. That is Brandon Halling. That is his 3rd foul of the game. 10th team foul. That sends Coy Sands to the charity stripe for the 1-and-1. He missed his first one from the free throw line, and that one is no good. It's the double bonus as well, so he gets to shoot 2 no matter what. Eli Gibson comes in. Caden Hammond's going to come back out. Still limping on that leg, but he's out there pushing through it, trying to play his heart out for the Lumberjack team. Lumberjack boys will be hosting Timberlake tomorrow and then hosting Grangeville on Saturday. Misses the second free throw is Sands, and the rebound to the Lancers as they now have a 9-point lead. They work the ball around. Brandon Halling almost loses the handle, is able to get back to it. Coming in and hacking at it is Gibson. The ball is still loose, rolling around, and they blow a whistle. And I think it's a timeout taken by the Lancers. It is. It's a full. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
These cold days of winter, Napa Auto Parts has all your vehicle needs. Diesel and gas additives, aerosol windshield de-icer, thermoaid gas line antifreeze. All are Napa's Mac brand products. Antifreeze, CRC airline antifreeze, snowmobile oils and belts, and of course Napa brand batteries for autos to snowmobiles. So stop by Napa Auto Parts today for all your cold weather additive needs. And while you're there, get your windshield wipers changed by their knowledgeable staff. Napa Auto Parts. They're not just a parts store, they're your friends. Napa Auto Parts, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you.
Back.
And they've been a team for
as we're just waiting for that timeout to finish up. St. Mary's trails by 9 here about midway through the 4th. Liberty Lancers leading by 9. And I'm trying to see, I don't remember what the average, I think I chucked my information on that, so that doesn't matter at this point. Lancers will have the possession after they took the timeout. They want to try to re-stretch out the lead. Lancers inbound. Brandon Halling has it. He hands it off to Jeske. Jeske hands it back off to Halling. Halling back to Jeske. Jeske works his way in. Kicks it out to Nave. Nave loses the handle almost. Nave drives. Shot is up and in off the glass. Nice move by Nave. It's his first basket of the second half. 52-41. It's an 11-point lead now for the Lancers. Coy Sands faked a shot, backs it back out to Pritchard. Pritchard to Buell. Buell out to Gibson on the wing on the left. Now back to the top to Pritchard. St. Mary's working, needs to get some shots to go in here soon. Duffield has it. Duffield back to the top to Buell. And Buell working. Buell kicks it out to Gibson as the defense is playing pretty good for the Lancers. It was a nice look as Gibson fed it into Duffield. Duffield missed the first attempt, got his own offensive rebound, put it back up and in. 9-point lead for the Lancers. Lumberjacks back into a bit of a press here. They get it across the timeline, stepping in, shot up and in off the glass. And that's number 14, Thomas Redder, putting it up and good. 6 points in the second half for Redder. Can't trade baskets. And a hard pass, a little bit too hard into Duffield. It's going to be a turnover. And that's going to go against, I'm going to say, Coy Sands, as he just fed it in too strong as Duffield was cutting along the baseline from the left side. Lancers now have it back with the 9-point lead. Lancers on the left. They're slowing it down a little bit. Now they feed it in. Shot is up. No good by number 24. Foul going to be called against Jeske as he goes in too strong trying for the rebound. Jeske now has 3 fouls in the game. That'll send Eli Gibson to the free throw line where he's 3 for 3. It's actually an 11-point lead right now for the Lancers. Now it's a 10-point lead as Eli Gibson makes the first. Howard going to come back in for St. Mary's. They go big underneath again. Next shot is up, and that one's good as well. Sweet stroke by Gibson. Lumberjacks into a full court press. It's a 9-point game now. As the Lancers take it down across, Nave has it, kicks it back out to Halling. Halling on top. He kicks it over to the wing on the left side to Jeske. Jeske going to drive, then back it back out. He kicks it over to Halling. Halling back to Jeske. Jeske going to look towards the free throw line. He kicks it back out to Nave. Nave guarded by Sands. He kicks it over to Jeske again. Jeske back in. Now they had cutting. Halling. Shot no good, and a late foul called. With a late whistle, they're going to call that foul on Coy Sands. Sometimes I wonder how they can be that late on a foul call, but they are sometimes. That'll send Brandon Halling to the free throw line for the first time tonight. He makes the first one. Again, almost 19 out of 55 points is from the free throw line. Jackson Pritchard goes in. Glover Buell comes out. Next shot is up. It too is good. 56-45, an 11-point lead again for the Lancers. Pritchard looking for an outlet, kicks it over to Sands. Sands working from the top, works it into Howard. And a bad pass almost taken away. Jeske goes down. No, it's not Jeske, it's number 24. That's Otmer, and he rolls his ankle a little bit, it looks like, but he's okay, I think. Oh, you got to clean up this mark on the sweat mark on the floor. It's an 11-point game. St. Mary's playing hard against a really, really tough team here. Really, it didn't look like some of those guys that have been listed as the really, really big guys. St. John and Denny are the two big guys that are listed as 6'7" and 6'5". They haven't been in this game, so I don't know what their skill level is in basketball, but they are apparently not the top players on the team, so because they haven't been in much. Glover Buell's going to come in. Eli Gibson goes out. St. Mary's needs to make some quick points up pretty quick here as they are trailing by 11 with 4 minutes to go. Into Pritchard, and a timeout, I think, taken by Chase. Coach Chase, Lumberjacks take a timeout. No, it's a turnover on St. Mary's, as they don't get it in time. 3-second violation, or 5-second. Drive into the basket, and a late foul again whistled. They count the basket. And that was Brandon Halling. Halling will go to the free throw line. Dan Howard picks up his 4th. And we're going to get a full timeout, I believe, taken by, I'm not sure who it's taken by. It is a timeout by one of the two teams. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Outdoor enthusiasts, turn your dreams of adventure into reality with a Yamaha Wolverine 2-seat or new Wolverine X4 4-seat
side. I'm not 100% sure, as he's trying to get his point across to the boys down here on the sideline. As I believe it's number 12, Halling going to go to the charity stripe. He is 2 for 2 in this half. They look to go up by 14. Currently leading by 13. Biggest lead of the night is this 13-point lead right now for the Lancers. And right now that score somewhat mirroring the Liberty Northwest Christian game when it was 66 to 44 or something like that. That free throw is up and good. So it's 59-45. St. Mary's trails by 14 with 4 minutes to go. They need to get some quick points on the board here. Lumberjacks working it around inside to Buell. Buell jump shot, can't get the shot to go in. Rebound to the Lancers. Halling bringing it down. He kicks it out to number 32, Jeske. Jeske backs it back out to Halling after acting like he was going to drive in. Now they kick it to 24. That's Ottmar. Ottmar back out and around the horn. Jeske sets it up as they slow things down. Lumberjacks going to come out on them defensively. Now they're moving the ball again. Ottmar to Jeske. Jeske brings it up to the top and then kicks it over to 14. That's Redder. Redder works it inside. Shot up and no good, and they call a foul against Glover Buell. Jeez. Now the foul floodgates have come open against St. Mary's. That puts Ottmar to the free throw line. First trip there of the second half. 3 fouls against Buell. Ottmar misses the first one. Dan Howard's going to come out. Eli Gibson goes in. Next shot, that one is no good as well, and it's going to be Duffield on the rebound. St. Mary's bringing it down the floor quickly. Taking it all the way to the basket, going up for a shot, being bodied pretty good is Corey Sands. No whistle for him, though, and the rebound goes back to the Lancers. Again, the refs have seemed to have swallowed the whistle a little bit on this side of the floor. Now Nave drives. He's going to go up, put the shot in, and he's going to draw a foul. So that'll be foul number 7 against St. Mary's, number 4 against Buell. 61-45 as it's now a 16-point lead, I believe, for the Lancers. And Nave steps to the free throw line. Nave was 4 for 4 in the first half. This is his first trip in the second half. Just under 3 minutes to go in the game. Nave lines up the first shot. It's on the way, or the bonus. It's on the way. It's good. .62-45. Three-pointer on the way by Buell is no good. Rebound to the Lancers, as this is a tough score to overcome now for St. Mary's with 2.5 to go. 11-point lead. Bad pass by the Lancers is going to go out of bounds. St. Mary's will inbound. Mikey Bassett's going to come in for Kevin Duffield. And a couple of players come in for the Lancers. We've got number 34, that is her, And number 50, that's Bo St. John. It's the first time St. John's been into the game. Jackson Pritchard brings it down for St. Mary's, gets a screen, gets a three, and it's short. Buell on the rebound. Buell can't get the shot to go, but he will be fouled and step to the free throw line. That foul goes against St. John. And Buell makes the first free throw. Caden Green comes in for Eli Gibson. A 12-point lead for the Lancers. Buell makes both of them. 11-point lead. St. Mary's putting on the press. And Lumberjacks looking to get a steal. Jeske takes it all the way across, picks up the dribble, bounces back, shot on the way from just inside three-point range, I believe, and it was up and good by number 24. That is Otmar. Lumberjacks trade baskets here and there. Nice three-pointer on the way by Pritchard. It's no good. And a whistle. And a foul. That's going to go against the Lancers and send Caden Green to the free throw line. Caden Green shooting, I don't know how many free throws he shot, but he's 100%. That is the fourth foul against Otmar. And Green's first free throw goes off the side of the rim. Eli Gibson checks back in as Jackson Pritchard comes out. Next shot on the way by Green. That one is good. 64-48. And the Lancers get it down across the timeline. St. Mary's back into their defense. It's number 20 has it. That's Hollings. He gives it out to St. John. St. John working against Coy Sands. He kicks it inside. Spinning shot is up and no good. Rebound to Coy Sands. Lumberjacks feed it down to Buell. Buell is tiptoeing the sideline, saves it in, back in, and bounces it off of St. John out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Mary's. Checking back in is number 22. I don't have a 22 on my roster for the Lancers. Coming into the top, and the pass is tipped out of bounds. They try to feed it back into the corner. That was by James here. I know there's a Watson or something like that on the team. It might be Kellen Watson. Three-pointer on the way by Coy Sands is no good. Rebound by Eli Gibson. St. Mary's resets. Gibson working, gets some room to run, to shoot, puts it up, no good. Caden Green had the rebound for a second, and a whistle and a foul against number 22, and that's Watson, I do believe. Sends Green to the free throw line once again. 1:09 to go in the game. Oh, Caden Green's first shot is off the front of the iron. Next shot is up. Lane violation against St. Mary's, and the ball goes to the Lancers. Lumberjacks in the full press. Inbound pass comes in. Lumberjacks trying to get the takeaway, but they can't get it before the Lancers make the cross. Lancers working. Bring it up to the top. They kick it out to Halling, and it's under a minute now in the game. St. Mary's going to drop this one, see if they can at least get over the 50-point mark before the end of the game, as that goes out of bounds, last touched by the Lancers. Coy Sands brings it quickly down the floor for St. Mary's. He's going to direct traffic. He kicks it to the corner to Green. Green gets tripped, and they say it goes out of bounds. They don't call the trip, but they do call it out of bounds off St. Mary's. 35 seconds to go. St. Mary's hung with this team almost the whole game until towards the end. Turnover by the Lancers, at least the fourth period, is when it kind of started to unravel for the Lumberjacks a little bit. Lumberjacks working it around. Coy Sands showing off his footwork, and then he loses the ball out of bounds. Lumberjacks back it out this time, and now I don't think St. Mary's even going to try to steal it. Lancers bring it across. Time running down. And I think that's going to be it. 48-64, St. Mary's is going to drop this one to the Liberty Lancers. That'll put St. Mary's at, I believe it's 10-3 on the season. We're not going to take a break. We'll keep it right here. And we'll actually, let me see what we've got going on. We'll just keep it right here, and we'll go through our final game. Well, no, I do need to take a break. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with our final game wrap-up.
Outdoor enthusiasts, turn your dreams of adventure into reality with a Yamaha Wolverine 2-seat or new Wolverine X4 4-seat side-by-side at St. Mary's Saw and Cycle. Both are proven off-road capable, comfortable, and confidence-inspiring. With compact yet roomy designs and exclusive Ultramatic transmissions and on-command 4-wheel drive systems. Visit St. Mary's Saw and Cycle. Yamaha Wolverine's proven off-road to help you realize your adventure. Always protect the environment and wear your seatbelt, helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. Read the owner's manual and product warning labels before operation.
Here are some simple instructions on how to get a tax pro to prepare and file your 1040EZ completely free. Go to an H&R Block office and say, I'd like you to prepare and file my 1040EZ for free. Or make an appointment at hrblock.com. That's it. No more instructions needed. Pro Tax Prep for free. Get your taxes won.
Return must be filed January 5th, 2018 to February 28th, 2018 at participating offices. Additional fees apply for EITC and other additional forms for state and local returns and if you select other products and services. OPTP number B13696.
Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop? Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. Never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feeds and pet feed needs. 10th Street Superstop carries all the top brands. Did I mention Kenny's a nice guy? Oh, and they also have a large assortment of snacks and beverages just for you. 10th Street Superstop for all your farm, garden, and hunger needs. And by the way, Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street Superstop in St. Mary's. Just because. Those are two very powerful words that can rekindle any spirit. Just because can move mountains and reignite the heart. It doesn't have to be a birthday, an anniversary, or even Christmas to show that special someone in your life just how much you really do care. Show them with a piece of jewelry from Saks, from simple diamond earrings to a beautiful new purse. And do it just because. It's an occasion all its own, with its own unique meaning. Visit Saks for fine jewelry, fashion jewelry, sunglasses, and more. That's Saks on Main Street in St. Mary's, open 10 to 6. Have you scheduled your Medicare wellness visit? Benoit Community Hospital is here to help. If you've had Medicare Part B...
And we are back. And just give me just a second here, as I am just about ready. Okay. St. Mary's comes up on the short end of this one against the Liberty Lancers. And it's a score of 48-64. As Lumberjack boys lose to the Lancers, the Lumberjack JV boys defeated the Lancers, as did the varsity girls. Now we can look at some numbers. The Lancers, let's see, scoring, finishing, Nave had 13, 12 for Redder, 10 for Jeske, 10 for Here, 9 for Otmar, and 6 for Halling. For the Lumberjacks, let's see, they shot 35% from the floor. They shot 43, almost 44% from two-point range, and almost 19% from three-point range, and 64% from the free throw line. I have them down for just 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, and 16 turnovers. 19 fouls committed by St. Mary's. Leading for the Jacks, and this one was Glover Buell with 14. Dan Howard had 6, as did Jackson Pritchard and Coy Sands. Eli Gibson put up 5 points, 4 points for Hammond, 4 points for Lohman. And let's see, that's all the 4 points. 2 points for Duffield, 1 point for Caden Green. So Lumberjacks dropped this one. That puts them at 10-3 on the season. The next game coming up for the Lumberjacks will be tomorrow, as the Lumberjack boys will be hosting the Timberlake Tigers here in St. Mary's. So that's going to do it for us here from Lumberjack Gymnasium. We hope that everybody has a great night. Thank you, Teresa, back at the studio, and Sandy here on the camera with me. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for some more Lumberjack basketball. Oh, she hung up on me. I guess she was supposed to, wasn't she? I like the way that works.